Hello, everyone. Hi. Oh, why are you on top of each other? What's happening here?
Don't
Oh
ask
my.
about that. You leave that be.
Here we go.
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't. Why is what? There it is. Haha. Welcome, everyone, and
Welcome.
hello to this episode of Tabletop Talk, where the subject is, if you scroll down a bit, Lancer. However, before we get there, Jaden plays. You got first, so you get to redeem up to 1,000 points for free. Send it a compliment. I want
We
to.
just started. You already need one?
Oh, he always needs one. A thread for Jaden. Okay, Jaden, I'm gonna step on you with my mech. This is very appropriate for today. And Sandert, I'm gonna step on you with my mech. You are worthy. No, it's not really a compliment. Sandert. You always make me laugh, and thank you for that. There we go. I will say, we are going to mainly talk, so don't expect that many redeems to happen. So please keep it in your pants. But yeah, do either of you have any news or stuff for this one?
Oh, for Lancer?
Oh, no,
in
just
general?
for this episode. I mean, just in general.
Well, I mean, I'm going pretty much completely dark after today.
Yeah, you have your
Yeah, I'm gone until Wednesday.
until Wednesday. Wait.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be a big day, right? Because of your.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, I agree. I mean, I don't have a stream.
If I decide to backflip off a cliff, that's gonna be me. But you know.
I would rather have you keep streaming.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I've been very excited for this episode since we started this show because every time somebody's like, "Hey, I've been looking for a new RPG that's not D&D," I go, "Hey, have you looked at Lancer?"
And every time they're like, "What? What is Lancer?"
Mm-hmm. It's either Lancer or Modiphius Conan. That was the usual two that I would plug.
Yeah. So I
still think that Conan is the best transition from people who were playing in D&D.
Yeah, so we had talked.
I want a different type of fantasy.
We had talked about this, like no, not this, but we talked about in a sense about, hey, we need like a palate cleanser thing.
Mm-hmm. We need like an actual good video game, a good tabletop game.
Yeah, even after doing like the DM section, we're like, we don't really want to read another, I don't know, Sci World or whatever, which is coming, by the way, at some point if I can ever find a PDF for it.
Yeah.
But we want actually a good RPG we can just gush about a little and stuff. And so I had like a small list of which ones do I like, and I couldn't decide. And then last time we did this, it was just like, okay, let's just pick the top one with Lancer. And you asked me what's next. Because you had talked about it, I heard other people talked about it, and it seemed everyone liked it. And so I had never read it before. I read it over the last 2 weeks, here and there.
Yes.
And I can say, yeah, it's not super complicated. It works. It has interesting mechanics, which are, well, not dissimilar from other games, but they make them work well here together. And I guess we just start going down this book, right?
The only thing I can mention for news is that they are still releasing stuff for this game also.
Yes.
Like expansions, whatnot, lore stuff, like they go between crunch and fluff quite a bit. So this is going to continue to be supported for some time to come, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like one book and done.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
Yeah, and also you can immediately guess what I can guess what at least one of these books is. One of these books is going to be more mechs. Yeah, you just have mechs, because this book has a good bunch of mechs in it. But knowing gamers, it's like, can I have more stuff? And the answer is obviously yeah, you can. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So
I would honestly, I would expect them not to just go, here's the mech book, but I would expect them to do something similar to the Mobile Suit Gundam series, in which it's like, here's a different era and here's how technology is different, and or here's the different types of stuff that you have access to here.
Well,
Yeah.
you can basically do both things almost. Like you can do a big. Oh, by the way, there's other local corporations that make mechs. Here's a list in the contemporary setting they've made, and then you can be like, here's just more stuff from the past. Here's the like far future bullshit. Though it's, I think since this is already far future, you would go back in that timeline maybe only.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe have a thing where it's more vehicle based or something. And this game would very easily be able to accommodate all of this. Also, the art is just cool. Like it's evocative
Yeah,
art.
it's really cool.
So good.
It's
yeah.
really neat.
And spoiler alert, it actually keeps going like this through the whole book. In that it is one or two artists, or maybe three, I'm not sure, who did all of the art, and you know that their styles match.
They're very on model. Like the
Yeah.
visual identity of
Oh, it's
Lancer
actually-
is
whoa.
very, very specific.
It's actually way more than I thought. I guess they just have similar styles then. Wow, nice.
That's why
Yeah.
it's so impressive. Yeah.
There's some conformity going on there, which, it's kind of like the Archie comic style thing, except in this case, it's just like, we want to evoke the same things, so...
Oh god, I would play a wood punk rendition of this, son. That I would do that. Like,
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
No.
I would.
Shut up about the windmill mech. Shut up about the windmill mech. I don't want to talk about that Gundam.
I have my.
It fucking sucks. That's the same one with the Norwegian longship Gundam. I don't want to fucking talk about it. The stupid Holland Dutch windmill.
But it's amphibious, Amory. It has so many uses.
I don't care. All Gundams are amphibious. They have sealed cockpits. They can all go underwater. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, but the longship Gundam is just very quick above the water.
No, shut up. No, I refuse.
Okay, fine.
No,
Okay, fine.
The fucking Spanish Gundam in that one it's like a bull. It's like a big matador with a bullhead chest. I hate it. I hate that Gundam. I hate that whole run. It's garbage. The only Gundam with any validity is Thunderbolt and Iron-Blooded Orphans. That's all you get.
I'm actually with you on Iron Blooded Orphans. I have not seen a lot of Gundam because holy shit, I don't have
Yeah,
time.
there's too much.
Too much.
Before we get into this, the preface, I really like Gundam. And this is IBO, the tabletop game.
I like
But-
I also like Gundam. Like as a thing. It's a cultural thing.
I hate Tequila Gundam. But anyways, so if you really want the only Gundam that matters in terms of like really solid narrative, OG or the OVAs that are based on OG, which is like the 70s Gundam, those are good. I think 00 Zeta is the follow-up to that one. And after that, just watch Thunderbolt and IBO, and I think you're good.
Yep. Don't watch Wing.
Don't see, the thing is, Gundam Wing was super popular, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Mhm.
It was a bit weird. But anyway.
Very 90s. Very 90s.
Sidetrack.
Yeah.
So we come to this book with it's funny when when the last book you do list like 5 editors and it was still completely garbage. Now you have one editor and just works.
Absolutely incredible.
Good job, Melody Watson, for
banger.
for putting the work in, as we will see. Then we have a bunch of artists. We have a bunch of we have named playtesters. Like I feel we count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they probably had 2 tables of dedicated playtesters, and then some people of the community who hear feedback and playtesting. These people do have a community, so they can activate them.
I was a part of that. It was nice.
Yeah, cool.
I was part of the original Lancer alpha and beta tests
Nice.
for
Cool.
the playtesting group. I'm not in that list of folks.
No, yeah. I mean, hey, you should and have we found Emery? Is you?
No.
Yes, it's just Fizzband, but spelled differently.
Yeah,
Oh, you got me.
it was Fizzban, but he had a stroke while typing his name.
That's awful. But
Very
anyways,
on brand for him.
This game didn't change too much. That's why I like it so much from alpha to beta. and then to full release. This is pretty much the same game that they made in alpha. Like, it's incredibly on brand. Very clear.
There's some weirdness with the clickability of these pages, but I'm not going to complain, as this PDF is very official, and I paid for this and stuff.
Yes.
But anyway,
thing, I do have a very, very surface level kind of gripe with it. I think the layout is super boring, very dry, and very corporate. But I think that's good.
We will get to it.
I think that's perfect for the system.
Yes, we will get to it. Look at this fucking art, though. This is like Nausicaa and the Valley of the Winds, just in the future.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Really cool.
This is some Avatar shit.
And just that's almost the only negative here. There, you do reuse art a little bit more here and there. This mech is gonna show up again, but hey, they start the book with some pages of art. That's cool. Of an introduction, I'm going to summarize this as it's the far future. Humanity is in lots of places now. There's like the original Earth is like utopia, but the frontier is a big problem area. And stuff maybe is like teetering on an edge of things just getting worse. Yeah, that's the short of it. And you're in there, and there's like millions of planets, and have fun. And you
By the way, Nura, I do want to picture really quick, because there are two things that I want to bring up, but I just kind of want to have them in the background. The two digital tools that you use for Lancer.
True. They do mention these in the book. Yeah.
Yes. CompCon and Retrograde are really solid.
Okay,
I'm gonna get it in there.
I'm gonna do them via Chrome, and we can look at that a little bit. So you're gonna be on top of the book right now, but who cares?
Oh, I mean, I was streaming it to Discord, so you can like picture in picture and throw it in somewhere.
Oh, okay, that's also true.
I've got you.
Okay, watch this. Pop this out. Yeah, I can put that in somehow. Window capture. Description. Okay. That's full screen and very big. Yeah, we can talk about.
That's gorgeous. I love the interface too.
Yeah. Retrograde, by the way, is already a really solid thing if you want to make like a cool mini. But I really do love the vibe of this. Look at this nonsense.
Yeah, that looks also a lot like the books, and that's nice.
Yeah, it works. These guys worked directly with these dudes to kind of get it. Oh shoot! I almost accidentally screwed myself. It is weird. I'm bad with digital tools. Look at this. Look at this fucking nonsense. This 6-armed gunslinger. It's incredible.
Yes.
It's incredible. But yeah, like even going through like specific weird little, tiny details, swapping out different pieces to make it look the way you want. I think that's really cool. There's so many cool little details to each of them, and they all have a lot of personality, which again, that's the biggest part of like why you play this game. This is very well realized world that has a lot of very, very strong ties to its own identity. Oh, and also there's big monsters.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
You fight big monsters. Yeah.
So it should be. I guess we can basically refer back to this as we go. So I'm going to keep this behind the normal share, and we can pull it down if we need to. So let me just put that in the thing.
This is CompCon. CompCon is basically your D&D Beyond for anything here. Pulls up any information you might need about literally anything, and allows you to track your pilot roster, that's your regular character, and your full like rack, all of your suits and whatnot. That's the best part about these systems, because this is a dense, mechanically, I would say nitpicky system.
Oh yeah.
This system,
definitely
is entirely built on what kind of frames do you want to run? What equipment do you want? How many different specializations do you want to do? What are you really good at? Like, there's even stuff for like sticking drone bays onto the back of your mech because you use little drones all the time. And that's just what your pilot's specialized in. So there's so much to track and customize and tweak, as it should for a mecha game.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want. And that's why I always suggest Lancer. There have been many, many mech games over the years.
But I just enjoy
I will
it
tell
the
you
most
this right
here.
now. Most of them are not good.
Yeah.
Most of them are either too crunchy and don't offer support, and they just say, nah, write it down. Use the paper or use flashcards, which I think sucks.
It does.
Or they're content light one-page games like the one made by Orion D. Black, which is just god-awful. Like, there's so many of these that are built around, oh, you're playing as the support crew for a mecha, for like a mecha pilot. It's like, fuck that, I want to be the guy in the robot. Why am I the support crew? What? Why would you make a game like that? That's stupid. That's actually just dumb. You've made a bad game, sorry. Your
Yes,
design is flawed from the start.
yes, it is a lot of customization. I think that's really
A
what
lot of
you
it.
need if you do this. Because
So I'm
as
going to just do this in the background. Feel free to shrink it.
I've just I will put it. I won't shrink it. I will put it behind. If you have something to show, then I will just put it in front again. So it's behind the
Indeed.
web share currently. I will keep this open. If you have to like add something, just tell me. Like I do enjoy like just how it just has like a command line interface at the start and stuff that's giving you
Oh yeah.
all sorts of shit. It's cool.
No, actually, switch over to what I've got. Really, straight up. It's really good.
Good.
It's a literal fucking like data entry terminal.
Yes. Just
So
put your
cool.
no image data. Put your pilot's picture there. Yeah.
I'm doing it. I gotta do. Oh, there's a whole lot of like really cool pilot images already. But hold on.
Can you be a cat girl?
I can't be a cat girl right now.
You can look at. I see it. First row.
Oh, I'm not gonna be a cat girl.
Yeah, but-
oh,
Oh,
that's
so
a
it's
little-
it's not actually a cat girl. Okay, no, never mind.
it's a little
But
zoom-
everything is
0 out of
cats.
10 game. Fuck this.
I'm sure you can be a cat girl. Come
It's
on
the
now.
future. I didn't
Yeah.
see a single one in the book.
This dude looks radical.
He does look
Oh.
cool.
Hey,
Oh, she has.
you can be a cat girl if you really want.
I mean, she has
Yeah.
robot legs, and
Exactly.
that's
Is this gonna show my file? No, it's not. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna slap my shit in there.
sure.
I almost slapped my whole ass in there, which I think would be fantastic.
But all future leads to cat girls. But it's the I want a future that leads to cat girls. So I want no future. There, I said it.
Yep.
The
Exactly.
Okay, let's get back to this. So this game, the game describes you as you are like the cavalry for someone. It's very open about who you are working for as a mech pilot, but you're going to be a mech pilot, which is they avoid one of the big pitfalls, which I always have said before when it comes to these kinds of games, where someone will be like, "Yeah, but I want to be the support guy. I want to be at home and repair the mechs. That seems like a cool character. I want to be the Scotty of this crew." And then they are going to sit there for a whole evening and not do a fucking thing because the mechs are fighting. And that sucks. So everyone being a pilot is good.
Yep.
It's the only way this ends up working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They don't really limit what a pilot can
Yes.
originally have been, too. Like they mentioned, you
True.
can be a prodigy, you could just be some working class schmo, whatever. You can play it.
Yeah. Okay, let's explain how this game generally works. You have stats you roll on with a d20 against usually a 10 or an active defense of some kind. Or passive defense, more like that. And then you get a bonus maybe from a skill or something. And then also there is, they call these, I think, I don't know what, I've forgotten what they call, but it's basically, if something is on your side in this check, you get a bonus of 1d6. And if something is against you get a minus of 1d6. And each bonus and minus cancels each other out. So in the end, you either get nothing or you get up to 1d6 minus or plus, never more. So even if 10 things are against you, it's going to be 1d6. However, you roll all the dice and the highest one counts. So if you have 10 against you and you roll 1-6, that is the 6 counts.
Yep.
That is all of it in terms of dice. Sometimes they want D3s as well, but you have D6s, so it's fine. Golden rules, specific rules override general statements. That is very normal. And the good thing they stated though, because some games do forget. Always round up to the nearest whole number. Also, how I like games. I don't like games that round down. Oh yes, accuracy versus difficulty is what I was talking about. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And these books will use these little icons, these little plus and minus icons, as well as some icons for range and damage to make things quicker to read. And that can throw you off at first, but there's not that many icons. You learn them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you just know them.
It's not like the Star Wars one where you memorize, 8 right away?
You know, this has probably also like 10 in total, but most of them are like, oh, is this an energy damage or is this a physical damage? And you can usually just be like, oh, it's a laser weapon. It's probably going to be energy damage, right? Yeah. And that is almost, oh yeah, again, right. So your character starts at level 0, which is a little, but it's like how it happens.
0 to hero.
As you level up, you get grit, which is you can think of as like your proficiency bonus from 5e, in that you get half your level rounded up as grit, which is just added to everything you do. And yeah, that is the base mechanics. We are done with base mechanics. We're gonna get to how mission downtime and stuff works. There's a lot of stuff there, but we're gonna get to that when we get to it.
Yep.
And then again, cool art, like someone just having hunted, like basically future Eskimos having hunted a giant, I don't know, ice dog of some sort.
Creature. Look at that creature.
Yeah.
I love the idea here. Like, this is one of the most evocative pieces of art I've seen in a while, where it's like, these people have the ability to have this fucking mech. This thing has a big harpoon gun, it has a knife on the arm and everything, and they have like harpoon guns as well. And this thing can stomp around, but they still need to gather firewood.
Yes.
So this mech's probably been like in the possession of these people for a while. And they lovingly fix it. I love it as well. Yeah, it's cool. Like this is
really cool.
These things are nice. Like if a piece of art can give you that, also like here, like, oh yeah, I'm repairing my mech, they're going to shot up a bit and stuff. Yeah, I think this is a real 10 out of 10. Like not necessarily for, like I will say, like I have seen better art just in clear terms for RPGs as well. Like Pathfinder art, picture for picture, is better than this. But this is really evocative art, and I enjoy that way more than, oh, there's a cool warrior who has a sword. Okay, does it tell me anything about the setting? Yeah, well, here's a sword.
Yep.
No, here you see, we're going to repair our fucking mech, and it's going to look like a piece of shit, but it's still going to work somehow. We're getting shot up and losing parts and everything. That's cool.
Oh, they're also super wide-eyed, are they, on combat drugs? You know, all these little details add up.
Yes. So, how is your character defined in this game? At license level 0, licenses mean what mechs you're allowed to drive. We'll get to that later. At license level 0, you get a background. You'll see that in a second. You get 4 + 2 triggers. Also going to explain in a second. You get 1 + 2 mech skill or 2 + 1 mech skills. 3 rank 1 talents. And a license for all General Massive System GMS gear and weapons. And 1 mech frame, the GMS SP1 Everest. So everyone starts with the same mech. That might sound like, oh, that's samey. I thought that at first. But the fact that you can customize your mech immediately makes this not an issue, honestly.
Yep.
And you go crazy with, oh, I'm getting a new mech really quickly. Because, as per the normal book rules, which I think not everyone will follow, but still, when you finish a mission, your character will level up, and you will get all of this, which is a trigger against +2, or you get a new trigger of +2, get to +1 to a mech skill, +1 talent to choose on your talent to improve an existing one, and a license rank which you can spend on any of the other mechs or stuff that exists in this. Meaning, pretty quickly you're gonna have really out there stuff that you're gonna get, and you can
Very
also
quickly.
reallocate license as your level increase. You can reallocate stuff about your character you maybe didn't like, which is also something I enjoy. It's just as a DM, I would say, please don't overdo this. However, if like a thing you pick just never comes up, then it's okay to like swap it out, because maybe this isn't the kind of campaign where you need the skill. So maybe swap it out or whatever. That's fine. Okay, so what does actually we go to level 12 in this. I don't see a reason why you couldn't go higher, except that the pluses are eventually going to be a bit silly.
Yeah.
But you can like, I don't see a reason why this couldn't go longer. It's also very easy to follow this. As you can see, this adds 1, this always adds 1, this always adds 1, this adds 1 every 3 levels, this adds 2 every level, and so on and so forth. So you could technically just keep going if you really wanted to. I have some pilots here. I really like her. She has almost my haircut.
True. I like that grungy dude.
No,
I'm a big fan of that guy. Look at him.
Yeah, I mean,
Man, he is nasty.
Yeah, he has. If you have the backlight with the green in your suit, and he knows, he knew what he did.
Yes, he knows.
That dude knows it. Yeah, he's aware.
Yes,
He knows. He looks like Warpstone.
Heck yeah, he suckles on that. So then we have backgrounds. These you can roll on this. You can decide, and you can also, these are examples. That's important. But they put in like 20 backgrounds for you to as things you might have been, and clearly, if you want to be something else, go for it. What does this give you? Basically, you see it. So let's look at celebrity. You get 4 triggers, which in this case, charm, pull rank, lead or inspire, and threaten. These are actions you would get +2 on if you pick this. And then it just explains what a celebrity might be in the setting. Same for colonist, word on the street, spot, survive patch, and so on and so forth. And these these triggers, all of these are defined, but you can define your own triggers as well. As I read this, was very unsure how needed that is. Because they seem to like cover most things. But anyway, let's look at triggers directly. So oh, this is girlfriend. So the point of triggers is that you can use them sometimes if it makes sense, but it shouldn't apply to everything. So, for example, apply fists to faces.
I love that.
Punch someone in the face or fight in open, brutal, unarmed combat. Whether it's fist fights, the martial arts, or a huge brawl, never subtle, clean or quiet. Importantly, these things, as far as I understand them, wouldn't apply to your mech combat, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
this is all your interpersonal stuff.
Yep. Because mech combat has its own set of stats and rules. So you couldn't be like, I have applied fists to faces. Can I just apply fists to faces with a mech? And then the DM can be like, yeah, you could get out of your mech and punch the other mech, but it's probably not going to do much. but it isn't a thing where you just are good at hand-to-hand also in a mech. Mechs get their own skills.
Yeah.
But this isn't to say you couldn't use these skills, for example, lead or inspire. I see that happening in during a mech combat, for example. Or even blow something up could be used. But these wouldn't be used, importantly, in direct combat. Blow something up wouldn't be, I blow the other mech up, I get a bonus. I want to do that.
Yeah.
It would be, no, you blow up the target building, whatever. That could be a bonus. Yeah. You get a bunch of these, you can define your own again. A lot of the stuff that's here, because this seems like a lot. I mean, it's only 2 pages, but still, it already seems like a lot to me. But since but I could also see like making your own up. Yeah. Again, it's like an open system, and that's cool. I like that. As a DM, you have to spot for that guy a little bit who will define things that you can always use.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's gonna argue about shit. Oh yeah, they have a novel way of argument resolution about this stuff. If you think your thing applies, but the DM says no, then the rest of the table can be like, no, you're an idiot. Doesn't apply, it makes no sense. Or they can be like, yeah, actually, I think it does apply, and then like basically the table gets to decide. I'm not sure if I like that on every table, but I think for most tables it should work.
Yeah. I think it's reasonable enough, you know?
Yeah.
Especially considering it's interpersonal, all of these, rather than, okay, it's going to decide the mech fight.
Yeah.
It's not going to, so.
Yeah, there isn't really... Like, there is rules in here to combat with people, but the game is very focused on doing mech fights.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then we get pilots in combat. Yeah, so pilot has some stats, which is...
Yes.
6 HP plus your grid. Size is half, evasion is 10, defense is 10, speed is 4. So you can these stats we will see again when we talk about mechs. But more or less it's hard. You are small and hard to hit, but you actually you won't be doing much damage in your on foot form. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
And now we already get to the mech. For mechs, you have 4 skills. Or 4 actions, I guess. Which is kind of like skills, but they call them actions. I think. Mech skills, I'm wrong.
I got them skills,
so the skills are hull, agility, systems, and engineering. Hull is when you use your mech to do something physical, like you lift the car, you punch through a wall, whatever. Agility is what you would expect. Systems is if you use something built into your mech, or electronic warfare, or scanning, all that stuff. And engineering is when you push your mech to be like to withstand something, to a system to be extra cool. I don't know. It depends. It lists what you have to use each time. And you get, to reminder, at least a +2 to one of these, or +1 to 2 of these to start. And the maximum you can have in any one thing is +6. Meaning...
So I'm gonna be straight up. I really love the idea of like high hull tanks, or mix of hull agility, kind of like skirmisher pilots. Just because that's how you're built to using what technology you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's expertise can allow them to use the same machinery in a different way. Like, I like the idea of somebody with high engineering finding really novel ways to just change their subsystems to, swap different power from, say, reactor to like a heavy plasma caster that you have, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or forcing your bolt thrower to fire at a more rapid rate, with the danger of burning it out. That's really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Yep. I just like that.
And like that there's only 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the big thing with this. Yeah.
So slim.
There's so many systems that have gone through like this that are just like, let's have 8, let's have 12. And I'm like, no, you got to have like 6 or less. 4 is a really good number for this.
Yeah, and then it's also a thing where even if you have a 0 in something, it's not like you're shit at it.
Yeah,
a 0 tends to mean it's a 50-50 if you don't have any bonuses or minuses. And if you fail a roll, it doesn't have to mean anything bad happens. Like, if you fail your systems roll to jam a thing, it's not going to be jammed, but you're not going to die.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, honestly, as the type of player I am, and the type of stories that I enjoy, I love the ace pilot kind of kind of narrative. So for me, pushing a little bit of hull, a lot of agility, and some engineering, that makes a character that's going to be entirely different from the guy next to me who wants to play like the systems analyst.
Mm-hmm.
I made when I planned like very roughly planned a character for this as I read through it. I made the agility systems person who was just like would jam you and then you couldn't hit them, and that's kind of
cool.
Yeah. But you can also just be the hull person who's just like double the HP of other people and just stands there and takes it.
Yes.
Way longer than others, and then just dishes out damage like crazy.
Into battle construction vehicles.
Yeah. Oh god,
Yeah.
That's a pull.
It's the best pull.
Listen, bulldozer best character.
No, the best character's the Crane because he does the kendo thing.
Yeah, but the Crane sucks. It's a 3 and 7 against the bulldozer.
Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. Battle construction vehicles is radical.
Why do we both know about it? It's such a fucking obscure bullshit.
It's because of best friends.
Yeah, it's true.
Because of super best friends.
It's probably true, yeah.
Didn't they play it on Scrubloads?
Yeah, they played on Scrubloads. You're
They
right.
did,
You're
yeah.
right.
I've actually played that game and it was fucking incredible.
Oh god.
At one of the FGC meetups I went to ages and ages ago, this has to be 12, 15 years ago. I went there and they had a fucking BCV setup.
Hey,
It was incredible.
Okay, just straight up, you could.
People were money matching on BCV.
If you are on the fence about this game, you could run battle construction vehicles in this system.
Yeah, you actually could straight up.
Yeah, that'll sell. That'll sell really good. That's the broad impact we really want. Hey, you know about battle construction?
Yeah, if mechs are just too niche for you, like the mainstream thing is battle construction vehicles. Yeah. So each level, you also get a license level in something. We're gonna get to that in a second, but that means you unlock more systems for your mech as well as more skills and shit.
Yeah.
Mechs have some stats as well, which is how big they are, how much armor they have, what mounts for weapons they have.
Indeed.
What weapon size is also a thing, like a mount for a weapon will have a different size. And then weapons have a type. Like
I will say
melee,
I really
CQB,
like the idea
so
that they
on.
state here where if you get a license, no, you have that license.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, I got a piece of gear. No, it's I'm licensed to use this piece of gear by whatever facility I'm working with, so they will print me a new piece of gear.
Yes.
Like, there's never a backslide on that, which like I've talked ages and ages and ages. Every time I talk about I like taking stuff away from players, I really like the idea of using the disarm action and the Black Knight kicks your cool flame tongue over the side of the cliff. Now you're fucked, you have no flaming sword. Like, that's a cool narrative, but it does kind of piss the player off who had the cool fire sword. And in this, you can definitely break people's stuff. The cool anti-material rifle that you use because you're a sniper, yeah. This weird samurai mech just rolled up and sliced your rifle in half.
Mhm.
Now you don't have that for this encounter, but in downtime after the mission, who cares? Just get a new one.
Yep. The idea is that we basically print a new mech every time, so that's how you get your stuff. And the book does say, okay, if you want to run it differently, you can, but then they're not going to really help you with how to run that. And I think, like, as cool as the idea is, you can still kind of do this. Like, there's this mech dropped you a sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
You can just pick that up if you like you leave your gun behind. But then if that thing gets destroyed, you ain't getting that back unless you take the license for it. And that's
Killian, the licenses do unlock entire collections. Like if you get a Raleigh license 1, which is what I do because I love the Raleigh model. I think it's cool. It's the weird gunslinger cowboy mech. But if you unlock Raleigh 2, you unlock everything from there and the first Raleigh license.
Yes, we're going to look at
it's all the gear that's covered in that, which means that you can mix and match licenses to make really unique builds.
Yep. We get to licenses soon. So then they tell you how mechs get improved. For example, if you have points in hull, you get two hit points, you get 1 repair cap. I have not currently fully understood how repairing works, but you can repair more basically. If you have agility, you get 1 evasion bonus and a speed bonus for 2. If you have systems, you get electronic warfare defense and tech attack for your thing, and 1 SB for every 2 points. SB system points, right? You can put another system in. Is that what it was? Yes. And with engineering, you get heat cap, which is you can overstress your systems and you take heat for that in a combat. And you can only do that so often before you start taking damage, and this increases this. And +1 maximum use for limited systems per 2 points. I would say engineering is a little bit like from the bonus, a little bit the worst one, but I mean, I've never played this, so maybe I'm wrong.
It seems like it is, but it is useful.
Okay.
It's pretty useful in practice.
Like, even with 2 points of engineering, think about it like this. If you have a set of swarm missiles, right, and they have 1 use, getting a second use out of that is incredible. Like, oh, my really strong super chest laser that can only be shot once. Well, I've actually fixed my systems between missions. I can use it twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just know how to pull. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that idea too, because that second shot of whatever limited system or third or whatever your limited systems deal with, like the idea that your player is making those decisions and then getting a massive reward for their big 1-shot weapon being 2 shots now over 1 mission.
Oh yeah.
Like that's something that ratifies that decision to spend that point.
I see. Like this is, and again, I've read this book in the last 2 weeks, and now that's why I'm basically asking you if this like feels, it's kind of feels worse on its face. But yeah, you're right. If I have like, I can easily see my mech being built around just having multi-use of the big rocket launcher and the laser and whatever else.
Yes.
And then it's like, you might only have 1 shot. I have 5 of each. So,
but the best part about
everyone.
that, because you're blowing out all of those things, your heat systems are jacking up, and your thing's like falling apart. Yeah, you're throwing out the biggest stuff, but you're in the cockpit rattling around like an almond.
I love that. That's good.
Yes.
As your pieces are like popping off and overheating.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it really plays into playing the
that's the
crazy
best part.
pilot, because everything else you're doing, you suck at. But this, you're really good at optimizing your reactor. And like, as soon as I read that the first time, I was like, that seems really weak. But then the second time, I was like, oh, it means I get 2 nuclear bombs, not just 1.
Yeah.
So
So
Killian, you can't turn the mech into an easy bake oven, because now you just give fuel for Nura of stripping half the plug suit. Halfway through the fight, you get the half strip jumpsuit fetish, and we gotta avoid that.
I would want no, you don't know, that's worse. More latex is better. You stay in there even if it's too warm. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get to how mechs work a little later.
Yeah.
We have now some extra character creation examples, which is something so many books just don't do this.
Really need.
So many books don't do this, and so many books just make you make mistakes because of this. In this case, so we made Tauro Oda with these 4 things. He has a little bit of gear. He has his talents. He has no core bonuses yet, and he has a GMS license, which is like the normal starting character. We went over this, and he has this mech.
The GMS is your garbage like basic frame. It sucks.
Garbage mech suit is GMS.
Yes.
I really like the idea that they're like, no, it's supposed to be generic, not garbage.
But okay, and then you see he is called his garbage mech suit Ragin. It's an Everest, which is what this actually is. Everyone starts with the Everest mech suit, but he has +4 HP because he has a +2 to hull. He has extra repair cap because he put that there. So you can see if I put my +2 into evasion, I would have 10 evasion instead of 8 evasion, for example.
Yes.
I could have 12 hit points, 9 evasion. I could have, and also speed of 5 if I put 2 in evasion, for example. I could buff any of these, and then I could, if I scroll down, I have the weapons. He chose these weapons. I could have 2 orcs and main and heavy weapon. I could have something else as weapons. And the core system, I think the core system is always there, but I think you can. Yeah, I think this. But you could. So to start, you have different weapons, and you have different stats here. But then you see him at level 3, and he has a lot more stuff.
Yeah, he's cracked out of his mind.
Yep.
Look at
Already,
that.
yeah.
He has +6 to read the situations maximum there. Take someone out, it's now 4. He has hull 5, he just went full hull, that's cool. He's just a tank guy.
Dude is really thick.
Yeah.
And even his core bonus supports that.
Reinforced frame, yeah. He just took everything to make his guy. So 28. So he gets +2. So if you put nothing into health, you can have at this level 12 HP.
Yeah.
If you are just like, no, I would please like to have a super agile mech, have +5 agility. They have 13 evasion, which is cool. But you would also have 12 health. So if you do get hit, problem. But then you also...
There is also a thing we're going to get into later with talents, which are like your main build for your character, in which the same guy with this, or a different guy with this same mech, could use its evasion systems more effectively, rather than him using just the hull to tank those shots and be like this big vanguard. And I think that is the most interesting part of this system. It does not matter, because your pilot has a set of specifications that need to align to the specifications of the frame you're using.
Yeah, we're coming.
And that's what's so interesting about this system to me.
Yeah, we're coming
because
to
so
that.
many of them are built entirely on, hey, so you're piloting the tank mech, right? It doesn't matter who's in it, right? No, like it matters. Pilot and machine are interconnected here, and that's the best part.
Even like if I go back to my by now half remembered stuff about BattleTech, in BattleTech there's a piloting skill, but it's never mech dependent. So if you're a good pilot, you're just always good in whatever mech you get into. And that leads to weirdness in some cases. It's not like it's a workable system where it's like, yeah, maybe if you know to write one, you know to write anyone. That is fine. But for a game which is like, oh, would you like half a ton of ammo in your right torso, or would you like a small laser? And then also the AC-10, do we fit that to the left arm, the right arm, the center torso, whatever have you? It's like, for a game that is so anal about building your mech, like to an even bigger degree than this, if we're honest, to a degree that I would say is detrimental to the game and not helpful like it's here.
It is, yeah.
Having like one skill that says, you're better at piloting any mech than it's stupid.
This feels like more of a sortie system rather than a hyper anal construction simulator. Yeah. Which I think is what it should be. Because again, this is about licenses, this is about like regulation and what you're being assigned or what you're requisitioning from like a quartermaster. You don't go to like the engineering bay and say, hey, I want these 5 specific plugs. No, this is my core system, this is what I like using as my auxiliary, and this is my main armament. And then they just strap that shit on, and then you go to the mission and you shoot the guys. This is not like, this is less fuck-aroundery than you would get in something like BattleTech, which was the system I was talking shit about and throwing mild shade at in the intro here. There's just too much.
I think like BattleTech, the problem with BattleTech very much is that they made a tabletop game where all the mech customization is super cool. No, PC game, the tabletop game way before. Like where okay, I have a 50-ton mech, I put like 10 tons of armor on, I put 20 tons of engine in, I have 20 tons left for items and for weapons and ammo and whatnot. That works for tabletop where you're like, oh, but I have 4 machine guns, I can shoot you a lot in your face now. But it doesn't work if you then bolt an RPG onto that and consciously keep your tabletop in that RPG. Where it's like, basically once we are fighting, we're playing tabletop. We're playing with the miniature rules 1-to-1. This doesn't work. This being built from the ground up to facilitate choice in this way, but also for your character, and your character influencing a lot of things about your mech is really cool. Because like apart from the idea that maybe these installed systems, which we have here, maybe aren't great for a character who has only evasion, you could also be in a mission be like, well, my mech is toast, I'll take this guy's. Like we shot this one pilot before he could get into his mech. I'm gonna take his mech now, and then you can be like, yeah, okay, this isn't ideal, but you can run this. I can see many ways in which this can be very quickly used to make things interesting on a mission.
Oh
So,
yeah.
My experience with this system, because I ran it and played it, was in a shared campaign where we had 2 GMs, me and another fellow. But when we did it under, like I've referenced before, Iron-Blooded Orphans kind of ideas, in which players were playing part of a mercenary company that had to requisition their goods from local settlements and whatnot. And it still worked because it tied into the role-playing aspects of like, well, we actually can't fix Roddy's frame because he has so much high-quality armor on it. We need to figure out somewhere to requisition like these massive like armor plates. Oh, Indra blew out her core. Like, she uses the big chest laser. She's fucked. Like, we need to go find some kind of new fusion reactor to keep that going. And that made it a little more interesting than just sortie after sortie after sortie.
Yeah,
and
I think
that's I think that's a definite way to go if you want to have something like that, which they mentioned somewhere in the book.
They do. Local University Town isn't going to be able to churn out top quality battle plates and rebuild the mech. True.
Yeah.
True.
I think the idea of, okay, we are going out in the field, better like be frugal with your stuff is a good one. But I also like the idea of eventually we're going to be back at home base and then we can have our cool stuff again. But we had to make do for a while. I like the idea of making do for a while. That's just nice. And I think it's
a really fun way to run it.
Yeah, the book doesn't really talk too deeply about. I think the DM section might have something, but in any case, it's it can easily see how it would work. There's no problem. Like for someone who has DM'd before, you just be like, yeah, no, you can't get that right now, but you can get this. It's not as good, maybe not what you wanted exactly, but that's the only thing available. And then the players just to run with that for the rest of the adventure because hey, it's what it is now.
I always like the vibe of making do, but I do enjoy this system being built around, no, you're going to go into the sortie and into the mission with exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You're going to be kitted with what you want to do. And I like that that's the baseline.
Yep,
and
I'd
you can deviate
that.
from that in whatever way you want to make it more interesting, if that's what's interesting to you in your group.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's cool.
I think my idea of making do would come from, okay, you wrecked your shit in this mission.
Yeah.
It's not over.
Yeah.
So now you have to make do. Not as if you're home and are like, oh, what do you mean we don't have ammo for the big gun?
What do you mean? What do you mean we ran out of fucking out of fusion cores? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, we had 6 of them.
Yep. And then next thing we do for structure of play, we decide collectively as players and DM, what the fuck are we doing even? We are glory-seeking warriors, we are Union regulars, career soldiers, and so on. We decide basically what kind of outfit we are playing as. And this kind of assumes that you are not like the only people in it.
Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah. You always have some sort of support structure in the back that helps you.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives us orders?
I do like
stuff. Yeah.
I want to point out 17 hungry travelers in it for the money. I love that idea of having a fucking convoy of like nomad mechs.
Yes.
That is the sickest. That is so sick.
Yeah. The 7.
Why aren't we playing this right now?
That 7 traveling mech pilots defend the small rice village against the onslaught of bandits.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Good vibe. Very good vibe.
Space Mecha Mad Max. Yeah, it could
That's
play
totally
that.
It
Anything.
can happen, yeah.
Anything. The damn
Play
cat
it on
girls
Mars.
knocked. The damn cat girls knocked over our fusion core boxes, so we're out. Yeah. Damn cat girls, it tells ya. Can't stay mad at them though.
I can. Spit out my hamster.
No. And then like some personal history. I don't know why you roll on this. I think this is 20 questions.
Yeah, this is actually 20 questions. Like,
Yeah.
When you get to it, it's like I am always more interested in like building this together rather than rolling it. But it does say following prompts can help you if you're unsure.
Yeah.
And I think it gives a good idea of like the types of societies that you're going to be running into in Lancer, because while this setting is very well detailed, this is very easy to make your own. It's very easy.
It's also,
they don't push it hard.
Yeah, they also, then that's, I think, is the best kind of wide setting you can make. It's very easy to make your own in the setting that still fits in. Like you can make the, I don't know, backwater systems, which are just at the very frontier where they're actually meeting aliens and whatnot. And those guys have weird shit that you can maybe just grab from them if you fight them. But maybe we don't want to fight them. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe you have to keep the other guys from fighting them, and so on and so forth. Anything is possible.
Safiri, we took a look at CompCon earlier, and it's a really solid. It's a really solid digital tool. I fucked around with it in the background.
We did look at it. If we can throw it up later again, maybe. Like you made a character.
Honestly, I
that.
would love to walk through like the character creation. That would be really solid.
Yeah, we can do that. But let's talk about all the shit first, so then we can.
Yeah, please do. And then it'll make sense because we can do it like in.
Oh yeah, perfect actually. Yeah.
Then we get to how is the mission structured. A normal mission, you get a briefing about what's at stake. Since usually you are just. Like you are boots on the ground kind of people. You're not really deciding what missions you go on. I think that is something I would maybe loosen up a little as we play, but who cares? If you like, this depends. How much this will apply to you depends on your group, but this is very workable because it explains. Okay, at base, you're gonna get like this a sit rep and a goal for this mission. You're gonna get explained what the stakes are if you fail. Preferably in a longer campaign, stuff is gonna get reincorporated. Matusrok, thank you for the follow. I hope I said that right. And then you're gonna prepare, like you're gonna bring shit with you, and with the reserves phase, which you have a limited time to like prepare things and items for your mission, or maybe even like prepare the help from the locals or whatever have you. And then you actually go on the mission and hopefully do well, and then you get a debrief and level up. And that's the normal structure for a game of this.
I like that they spell it out, like, period. Like, there's so many games that decide not to go step by step.
Yep.
And there's some that we have described that do go step by step, where it's just kind of like, yeah, but these steps are a little too murky. This is very definite.
Yep. And then you can still deviate. Of course, you can deviate from this in any way you want.
Very
Like you can be
easily.
like, oh, here's our mission briefing, and then a big explosion happens, and you have to fight to defend HQ. And it's like it's very easy to come up with those things that you shouldn't have to explain that you can. If you
Very easy.
Making skill checks. Yeah, okay. Making skill checks. I explained how that works. If you have help, if someone helps you, get +1 accuracy from that. It's also cool. Trying again, pushing it. And if you fail, you get like a negative outcome of some sort, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty... All of this is pretty self-explanatory, honestly. They give a lot of rules about like rolling for how well a preparation goes, or rolling how well it goes that you just went out and got drunk. It's nice. Good art. Here's the downtime thing. Like you can get access to, like, if I want to requisition resources in front and before the mission, you can get maybe clandestinely get the key card to the factory you have to infiltrate or whatever have you. Like, it has to make sense within the mission, of course, and then you just roll on your chances to get that. Maybe makes the mission easier. Maybe it's also a thing where in the briefing someone tells you, one of you should probably follow up on this guy we know who has the key card for this warehouse, and so on and so forth. Requisition ammo for your limited weapons, blah blah blah. You get, you can do like a bunch of things before. These are also all examples. Book keeps hammering that home as you read it, that what we've written down here is probably useful to you, but you might want something else, and it's fine to roll for that as well. I like her. Look at her.
That is just like, so that's my character from the Feng Shui RPG that we were talking about, except now she's like in Lancer.
That crunchy old lady. What a gal.
Yeah. The lady from Kung Fu Hustle, but her martial arts were not good enough, but now she has to get in a mech and fight back now.
That's strong.
Yeah. And also each of these give you like negative outcomes and positive outcomes if you don't do it, blah blah blah. A lot of this can be abstracted away. I would say might not be the worst idea to sometimes do that. But if a player's like, hey, I would like to just roll to get extra ammo, and then I was like, yeah, sure, do that. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this fucking picture. This is like...
This is like really, really good.
A synthwave mech.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a good vibe, doing like a Carpenter Brute-based setting.
Holy shit, yeah.
Where like some of the mechs have like blood and organs. Yeah,
oh,
that'd be fun.
That's fucking sick.
Okay, and then we enter the mech combat, which, I will be honest, I skimmed. Because it is very in-depth and very workable. But I didn't have my brain this week to really make full sense of these rules if I wasn't going to play. But some important things is, like, a basic mech, whereas a human is half a square, but is going to be one square on the thing, and a small mech is also going to be one square. This is a standard mech, I think. Oh wait, so the next says no. So a normal mech is also one size, but large mechs can be up to this big, and that's, I already like the idea of fighting a big boss. That's always cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
And yes, some mechs do have this, depending on the mecha, to Killian, true. Like the mechs, if once you get to them. So, okay, basically, when you have an action, you get to move, you get to do full action, or 2 quick actions. Yeah. And then if you overcharge for heat, you can another quick action and that generates heat for your mech.
Yep.
Like a full action can be an attack, can be whatever.
Yeah.
Your systems on your Mac will tell you what is. There's like, this is like, imagine reading like the 5e combat rules. Like, it is exactly the same, but for mechs.
Yep, mechs and hexes. Yep.
Yeah. Some explanation what a cone is and so on, what cover is.
And this is easier to read than other hex-based games that I've read, like GURPS. Ugh.
Yeah. No, this is very usable. Like, from what I did read, it is good. Yeah. And I never was like, what the fuck is happening? But it's like, as we will see here, there's like a bunch. There's like a lot of things. There was like, no.
Yeah, there's a lot here. I would honestly say, until you are like ready to play this game, just do your thing, man. Just like have it be. Right? Don't jump into it and like read literally everything, because there's just going to be too much.
Yeah. And they do a quick reference page. Everybody should do that. That's very kind of them.
Yeah.
Bunch of conditions, which you might also have like an idea about if you played other games. Glossary.
Shredded does not turn you into Shredder, unfortunately, but
one of the few black and white pictures, but it's still really cool. Look at this guy. He isn't having a good time.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's like the kid with the ice cream cone running away.
Oh, true.
Oh no.
Rough stuff, man.
Yeah, and then how do you take damage, and how also characters take damage, overeating, blah blah blah. That's just, again, this is a functional system. It is super workable and it's good. But I want to get to the cool stuff, which is here, the compendium and talents.
Oh yeah.
And also after this is
really
max. Yes. So how talents work? If we remember back, we get 3 level 1 talents, and I think this system should be stolen by everyone.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah.
Because how it works is, if I'm an ace, at first level I get acrobatics. While flying, I get the following benefits. You make all agility checks and saves with +1 accuracy. So get a dexterity D6 normally, unless stuff is against you. Anytime an attack misses you, you may fly up to 2 spaces in any direction as a reaction. And that's what I get at level 1. At level 0, sorry. I can't have this buff, but now if I level up, I can take afterburners. That's level 2 as my level 2 ace thing. When you boost while flying, you may move an additional 1d6 spaces, but take a heat equal to half that amount. So, and then if I then level up again, I can take ace level 3, which is supersonic. As a quick action on your turn, you may spin up your thrusters. If you end your turn flying, you may nominate a character within a range equal to your speed and line of sight and gain this reaction. Supersonic, blah, blah, blah. Target trigger your target's turn ends. You fly to a space free and adjacent to them. Must be a path, blah, 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 blah. As engagement resistance. Yeah, so at your target's turn ends. Oh, on the end of that guy's turn, you fly to him. Okay, cool.
Yep.
But my gist here is, why everyone should steal this is, this is a way to be like, yeah, but I want to be an even better great weapons fighter than the other guy.
Yes, exactly.
Imagine if 5e had this, where they, yeah, you're a great weapon master. But you're a great weapon master with 2 notches. And then great weapon master with 2 notches and a star, meaning you get, I don't know, crit on 19 and 20 or whatever crit range, whatever the fuck you want to write. But basically it gives you cool shit every time, which is on point. And it isn't the thing that like 3.5 D&D had, where it's like, oh, you have to take mobility to take spring attack, to then take improved mobility, to then take improved spring attack, to then be able to take the thing you actually want to take.
Oh
Like
yeah,
whirlwind attack.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate that more than I think anything.
Yeah, I hate that more than anything because it made you need to plan out your character way in advance. Like you had to be like, oh, but improved mobility needs 16 dex, so by level 5 I have to have 16 dex. So my level up at level 3, where I get +2 to something, has to be dex. And then you basically plan out your character from at level 1, so you don't suck at level 20. And then you never play past level 4, and this was all for nothing. But you still end up doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, but this is how all these work. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of these talents, as we see as I'm scrolling.
And none of them are bad. Like the second time I read through this, I was like, okay, are these like a trap or bad?
Yeah.
No, none of them are bad.
I genuinely haven't seen one that's just bad.
Yeah. There's arguably, like, you might think, oh, but ace is only for flying and only you get heat and stuff. That doesn't sound good. But then you can easily imagine a mission where some guy has to go fast now, or we lose.
Yeah.
And then
very easy to imagine.
Then the ace is going to be the one who go fast and not lose, and everyone's going to be thankful they took that. Like, not all of these are like, oh, I get another attack, or I get to punch him harder for 2 extra damage, whatever the fuck. These are like, a lot of this is utility. For example, skirmisher, integrated chaff launcher. At the start of your turn, gain soft cover. You lose this cover if you attack or force another character to make a save. So you just deploy like a cloud around you, but if you then move in it, it's basically not going to work anymore. Blockbreaker. Before and after you skirmish, including as a reaction in Overwatch, you may move 2 spaces. Move ignores engagement, doesn't provoke reactions. Nice. Can you immediately see how that is useful? Anyone who played like D&D knows how useful it is to move on reaction. Weave. First attack taken as a reaction against you in any round automatically misses. Yeah, that's great.
So good.
That is just great.
Insane,
Like,
yeah.
Freely reallocate these. You can reallocate these freely, yes, I would say, though maybe don't overdo that. It's again one of those things where, like, okay, we had 3 missions. My siege specialist never came up. This doesn't seem to be the kind of campaign where bad example, because you can force this one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My spotter never came up because we just don't have the kind of team makeup that needs a spotter. So I'm going to reallocate spotter, but I wouldn't be like, yeah, I have spotter 3. I used it every time, and now I'm going to not have it anymore. That makes no sense to me. And I would, as a DM, I would be like, can we maybe not do that? but I mean, yeah, per the rules, you can reallocate these, true.
Yeah.
And again, there's so many. Like, I'm still scrolling. Here we go.
There is one other game I can think of that does this, where there's like 3 tiers, and then they expanded it into 5 later, and that's the Modern Age system, which they use for the Expanse RPG.
Okay.
That's the only one I can think of. That's a 3d6 system.
Is that coming eventually? The expense system?
Oh no, it's already been out for quite a while.
No, I mean, are we doing that?
Yeah, we're going to do that in the future.
I see.
Yep.
Um,
There's a lot that's bad about it, but
It's
there's some
don't
things that are
worry
good.
about it.
Don't worry
We'll
about
get
it. We'll
there.
get to it. We'll get there.
like, yeah, again, you can pick 3 of these, and then every level you get, you pick either a higher level of one of these, or you pick a new one at level 1. And from the amount that's here, if level 12 means you have 3 plus 11, no, 3 plus 12, so I have 15 of these at the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 28, 29. So 29 times 3, which is 87. And you can pick 15. That's a lot.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
pretty solid.
That is some good replayability, since you can also mix and match. Thank you, Sandat. Thank you.
Yeah, and then that's just for your character, and then
Yep.
the rest. Oh, there's so many mechs to pick from just in the core book.
Oh yeah.
6 is a lot, yeah.
Here we have.
My favorite one is Nuclear Cavalier, though, taking advantage of literally being in the danger zone for your heat. And then the top tier part of it is just literally firing your fuel rods at targets.
Your catch.
Ridiculous, but I love it.
What
Most
your
crack nonsense.
clear for heat as well. That's so cool.
Yes, it's so good.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these are really cool. Like, I think my favorite one is, I don't know how good it is, but I just love it, is at the very end is Vanguard, where you just, because your close quarter battle just reaches further.
Yes.
I knife you at range, my friend.
Yeah. Crack, absolutely crack.
And Hot Rodder. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
I love that one. All of these are so cool and
Yes.
evocative, and they really get you the vibe of what you've got going
Yes.
on.
And the cool thing as well with these, as many of them are here now, I can also easily see them just writing a bunch more and then also putting them in, and then you have even more replayability with this game. So next is GER. GER has a bunch of stats, but it's not that hard to understand. I'm not even going to read this out because we can easily see what it does. Pilot gear, as we start out, I love the so you have archaic weapons. They have one range melee. This is a melee icon, and do 1 damage physical, or they have 5 range with archaic ranged and do 1 damage. Like, this is what I love that there isn't anything more. This is what we need. This is all we need, because you should, if you're really shooting with a bow or crossbow, who fucking cares if the crossbow is technically more deadly and shorter range? Fuck that. We are playing a mech game here. And then alloy composite weapons for melee. Like, a bigger weapon does a bit more damage. They all have 1 range. A big weapon is inaccurate. Light weapon is a sidearm, which means you can more easily conceal it and carry it around. And that is how complex the weapons in this are, which is exactly what I love. And then you have signature weapons range, which is one of the most lovely things ever. And they're like, yeah, your pilots carry a diverse range of weapons into battlefield, everything from heirloom weapons to custom tools, sidearms, and so on. This is just your cool gun, and that's going to have these stats.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of these sizes. It's going to have these ranges. It's going to be doing this damage in either of these categories, depending what kind of weapon it is. And then you just have it. Good luck. You don't need more than this. Like, at least not for this game. I understand that in a game like D&D, again, you want to distinguish your hand axe from your dagger a bit more than nothing, than not at all. But this is perfect for a mech game, because we are going to get to the weird mech stuff that actually needs to be statted out in more detail later. But if you, in this game, get into a firefight as your pilots, then this is fine. This is all perfectly okay.
Yep.
Also means, since you have 6 hit points as a mech pilot, plus half your grid, or plus grid maybe full, I don't remember, you are not that easy to kill overall, because there's also armor, which lowers stuff. But I think if you get, like, this is base damage, it goes up if you do a good hit or whatever. Even that doesn't really matter to me right now. I have 5 kinds of armor, which just have their stats built in. You are never going to be, like, on foot to be the most evasive person ever, even if you are if your character is that in a mech, which is also like, because we are not playing ninjas who pilot mechs, we're playing mech pilots.
Yeah.
And I think that
is the coolest. I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, we are making mech pilots, so we're not like superheroes, we're not the best ever, but we are ace pilots.
Yep.
And that's the whole shtick.
Yeah, we're listening to Danger Zone every day.
Exactly.
And playing volleyball.
That is pretty fucking sick, though.
Yeah. We're playing volleyball somehow in outer space with just helmets and speedos. They're that hardcore.
Yeah, wait. Why are we not doing that right now?
We are boring because we are boring people, Emery. We can never be as gay as those guys.
I can sure try.
You can try. We can reach for the stars. Yeah, it's true.
Enough snowl taps later.
You also get, like, this is just stuff you can have. Like, this is basically, the game doesn't have a concept of money per se, where you have to pay for your gun. No, you just pick one. Like, the trade-off of having a heavy weapon is that that people are gonna have some questions maybe while you're lugging, like, your rocket launcher around.
Yeah.
Yes. It was my grandpa's.
Yeah.
It's a hand-me-down.
And that is about it. That is about it from that. And then you have some limited gear, which is like, you have some stims, which gives you a bonus for something. Like, just stay awake for 30 hours. It's fine. Don't have emotional problems, blah, blah, blah. Have like a patch, which is that, restore the HP, half maximum HP from someone who isn't dead. Or down and out, rather. In the field. And so on and so forth. And a bunch of stuff that you can have. Some of it you can have with you, but not all of it. Like, the way the game works, you have to requisition, like, some of this. And depending on where you go, you might not have all of it with you.
Yeah.
And then here we come to the meat and potatoes of this game. Licenses. What
the
are
best shit
yes.
in the game?
What are licenses? Well, you again, you start with the GMS license, which gives you access to all of these weapons which we see here. And they might look like the stats are kind of the same. Here you start rolling for damage because there's this bigger weapons. And the point about these tends to be, I think they have different sizes, I think, right?
Yeah, they're auxiliary or
Size
main or
type,
heavy.
Like, size type defines when they make their fit. Like, you can't just have anti-material rifles, 4 of them are strapped to your mech, because that's not how the slot system works. But you certainly can have one of these and shoot a guy at 20 range for 2d6 damage pretty well.
Yep.
And then you also have systems which you can put in. And system points we came to earlier, which is like which you get from running your skills and also just from leveling. Just you put your CompCon assistant unit in, which is like basically you're now playing Titanfall.
Yeah.
Where your mech just can act on its own, not as well as you, but it can act on its own, and like defend the place while you go out to grab the bonus objective, whatever. And then it has like some rules. I love custom paint job, even if I'm not sure how good it is. But it's like
I love it. That's my favorite. I put it on everything. Yeah.
Where
Every time I've made a pilot, I like custom paint job.
yeah,
It's such a weird one where it's just like, something just scratched your paint, but you only get one.
Yeah.
You get to ignore damage
one time
because you just shirked it off. That's so sick.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
One of the few places where I found the language to be a little unclear. So I guess on second read it actually is clear. Yeah. Okay. When your mech takes structure damage, roll d6. On a 6, you return to 1 HP and ignore the damage that simply scratched your paint. Yeah, cool. So this can only be used once between full repairs and not a valid target for system destruction. Yeah, you can't just destroy this paint. I think this part is untrue if you're talking about like hooligans. I think they can spray paint your mech. But maybe that still counts. And then, depending on how good the system is, for example, your CompCon, where your mech just can act on its own, costs 2 points and has the AI and unique flavors. So you can't, I think unique means you can't have 2, which in this case wouldn't make sense anyway, but other things might be. Where you would be like, can I have more than one of these? And the game is like, no. And there's just a bunch of them again. And this is the stuff you start with. This is all the stuff you can have right from the start. You can have as the assistant. You can have the paint job. You can have an expanded compartment for the carrying stuff in, I think.
Who needs to have a fucking mech backpack? Shut up.
It's right on the outside. You can have manipulators if the mech doesn't have them anyway. Like it has hands. It can do stuff on its own.
Extra limbs.
Smoke charges. Pattern A Jericho deployable cover. You can just put cover out there. Just throw a nice wall up.
Absolutely correct.
Hex charges. You throw grenades. Personalizations is also cool. Where it's just like, you personalized your mech. It just gets 2 HP. And a minor modification that might sometimes be useful.
Yeah, a drink dispenser,
Yeah, it just stabs you with the drugs if you need it or something.
Yep.
And it might sometimes give you a bonus, give you a +1 skill to a thing.
Yes.
And that is just like, it's very open-ended. I like it. And so on a stable structure, you don't fall over as much. Turret drones, just deploy some single-use turrets that stick around for the rest of the fight, I think. EVA module, you can go underwater in zero gravity and stuff.
Oh, okay.
This might be more something this is one of the few ones I would be like, my campaign takes place there. You just get this.
Yeah.
Congrats. But
that would make sense.
Rapid burst jump jet system. You can fly when you boost. Must end you move on the ground. Type 1 flight system. You can fly when you boost. Make a stand move forever. Take size heat at the end of year. You can fly longer. This is for the aces in our midst. You can have one of these or 2 of these right from the start, depending how much SP it is, how you're skilled. So even if you think, we have all this dumb Everest mech, we're all going to be the same. Nope. Between those weapons we saw and this, you're going to be close combat guy, far combat guy, grenade guy, and whatever have you. It's all in here already. And there's the Everest, which doesn't have a picture, which is one of the cool things about it. Because they were like, okay, everyone starts with this. So here's stats. But there's no fucking picture for this.
Because there's factory standard, but then every single person is gonna trick it out. It might be bulkier, it might be this ramshackle like hunk of junk. Honestly, I really like the Everest. I love that concept so much.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not even bad. Like stats wise, it's fine. You can stay in this mech if you want to.
For a while, yeah, you can.
And the power-up is also not bad. For the rest of the thing, gain +1 advantage on attacks, checks, saves. Additionally, once per turn, you can boost his reflection. This thing is like this power-up thing, which is in the mech, so you can't actually take it out and put it into something else so easily.
Yeah.
Is very powerful. But though, after saying that, there's gonna be so many cool mechs here which you all want. Like, and there's and now this game does it in the right way, I think, where they introduce you to some mech makers, like IPS North Star, for example. Your friends in an unfriendly sea, who make survivalist mechs, more or less, from what the pictures tell me.
I want to say something really quick about licenses in terms of how they interact with all of these.
Yeah.
As you read these and you look at the license system, you're going to notice something really interesting. Level 1 of a license does not get you the frame. Level 2 of the license does. So if you say, pick Blackbeard, your first level of license into that IPS North Star Blackbeard is going to be its unique equipment, and then level 2 is going to get you access to the actual deal. Like with the Raleigh, which we'll get to later, our good old friend Emery's favorite, the cowboy mech. The first level gets you the hand cannon and its specific like burst grenades, and then level 2 gets you the actual mech frame that's built more for that kind of like gunslinging assault skirmisher kind of build. God, these designs are good.
Yeah.
Like the idea being that you almost build up your mech to be one of these. Or you learn some of its features and then you switch over because it's cool. Whatever have you.
Yes. Very slingshot channel of them.
Yes. And then like you specialize into each of these mechs individually as well. So it can be very worth it. Even if you are like, hey, I want to pilot the Blackbeard, I might take a level in something else just to grab the equipment I want.
Yes.
Because it just synergizes with the stuff I want otherwise pretty well. And in that way, there's so much fucking like modability in this. It's crazy.
It's absolutely like cracked out of its mind. Like, how much more could you possibly want? Like, there's always something for you. As like somebody who likes mecha, if you're into that, you are going to be into the amount of customization here, and it's not going to overwhelm you. Even players who don't tend to over customize are going to go like, oh yeah, you know, I do want to have like a fucking AI assistant. Oh, I think having Ava units are going to be really cool, like zero gravity boosters, so that if we get into 0G, I'm not fucked.
Yeah, and also like it seems like maybe a lot all at once, but if you play the whole mission of this, which like gonna take you like 2, 3, 4, I don't know, like sessions to do a mission, depending how long one of them is. Maybe it takes you 1. Who cares? I don't know.
Could, but I will say this right now: your first mission when you're at license level 0 is supposed to be a one-shot. They talk about that in this, where it's supposed to be your first one until you get all your customization. It just gets you used to the basic frame.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And then you're out.
I also meant like later on, not necessarily like.
Oh, later on, it's gonna take a hot minute. Like these can be really long. I think our longest was like 6 sessions worth of just like constant work, and I thought that went really well.
Yep.
And I just realized that mech in the background is doing cement 3D printing.
Yes.
I just realized that. That's so cool.
Little cover thing, yeah.
3D printing is a big deal in this. That's the whole shtick of why they can even do like half the shit they can.
I love
that's
this.
Really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. This world is very well realized.
Yes. It's very modern sci-fi in that sense, in that old sci-fi industry didn't have much of an idea about 3D printing yet, because that's kind of new. But yeah, what I'm getting at with this is what I was getting at before. What was I getting at before? Shit.
I don't know.
The customizability, that you can take level 3 licenses, level 1.
Yeah, my point is, like, even like level 1, so if you go from 0 to 1, you're gonna pick the mech you want. So that's not a hard choice, because you're just gonna be in here and be like, this guy, like here, this guy looks heckin' cool. He's a tank. I want the tank. And then you know that you will get him after next mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's your first 2 picks. And after that, once you have the mech you want, because you can get any of them we are going to scroll past, you can take at level 2. You're going to then be able to just be like, okay, I have the mech I want. Which things are useful for the mech I want from other mechs? And then you can license everyone to that. And those choices roll at you slowly. So it's not overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And that is perfect. Just perfect.
I think that's the best part of how everything works out, because eventually you're going to get to using the stuff that you want to do, but it's going to take that time so that you're not absolutely overwhelmed.
Yep.
Yep.
This one, Lancaster, is also like, what is this mech? Yeah, it's just a big, basically a big version of the robot dog, and it's more like of a supporter, I think, right?
Look at that fucking dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take a look at that.
Dog deploys drones and stuff. Yeah, like
That thing's cool. Like that would be the
range.
one that your super engineer would take, and then like takes lots of multi-use abilities.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you can reload a guy with this. This is a supporter mech.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the Nelson, which is like a melee mech. This is for the guy who
Honestly,
likes Japanese swords in your group.
No, Nelson is that. It's the fucking Crusader. Look at that shit.
Okay, fair.
It's a literal lancer.
Yeah, true.
So cool.
It's even carrying one.
I guess true. Yeah, there's a katana mech
Dude with
later.
the fucking boar spear. Look at me. I have a cape on my 30-foot tall mech. Hey, here's mine. My favorite.
Really? The gunnery guy. Yeah. Here's a big pistol.
Funny, cool guy.
The blast charges and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot here. Then they have the Tortuga, which looks like this is kind of a bit box standard, but I think it's probably a cool mech.
Ooh, it has a siege ram. That's cool.
Yeah, and then he's a 4-armed mech if you felt like you didn't have enough arms before. And then now we get to the next guys, to the SSC, Smith Shimanto Corpo, who make weird mechs. Congratulations, they look like insects.
Fucking cracked mechs that are just nonsense.
Black Witch.
Look at that.
Look at her.
Look at these.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at this nonsense. She do be kind of bad though.
Yeah. Like if your mech has,
She do be kind of bad though.
if your mech looks like it has hips, then you know that I'm all over that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Death said this is a sniper mech, and this is very Japanese inspired. All these obviously.
Yeah, I like those.
And I like them a lot. There's
Yes.
one.
God, that's so weird.
Duskwing I love specifically because was it the one with the teleportation? No, there was one with teleportation. Comes later.
You think comes later,
Here's your sniper katana mech. Monarch. Here's your here's your Eastern gun mech.
Yeah,
Morning Cloak is the one. Was it? Yeah. Fuck, which one was it?
Yeah, blink space jump. You teleport.
Yep.
God,
Yep.
fucking weird.
I love that.
There's
Like it
one
literally
no,
uses the slipstream module.
There's another one as well, which also teleports. Then you have one that cloaks.
Yep.
And it's also AI controlled. And then you have the Horus guys who also make mechs. Look at him.
Yep.
Other mechs were just not cool enough. We make ours burn.
No.
Yep.
Look at this. Look, the dude rolls up with that. What do you fucking do?
Yeah. And on the other end, you have the Goblin, which is basically basically a power suit because you see the guy in here still. Yeah. Which, okay, that doesn't sound as cool, but that means you can go into a building with your guy and be in a mech.
Yep.
And that has tons of uses, I would think. If you're all about being more stealthy and while other people stomp around outside. And you have this. I don't even know what the heck is happening, like with the face or the lack of a face. Like, what the fuck is there? These antennas?
Is fucking strange.
Yeah, I mean,
Love it.
We know who pilots that.
Yeah.
Horus guys looked at the movie Event Horizon. It's like, what is shit right now? Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Hydra. This one also looks cool. This one just builds itself as you play. I'm not even gonna go over what these all do because
there's so much to it that it's like, what do you even do at that point? Like, no, it's just too cool.
Yeah, and just looking at the things, you can kind of tell what they do. Like, not in all aspects, but you kind of get the idea what cool thing this mech might have. And then you're probably
like that one has an energy gun.
Yeah. Horus Minotaur. Look at him.
Oh, I like that one.
He has the void in his head. Like,
yes.
What a weirdo. There's just so much weird shit that's so dope to look at. Like,
and this guy carries the singularity on his ass. Like, what the
Literally.
fuck?
Yeah.
Singularity is your. And then we have Harris and Armory, which are like, these guys are basically like heavy hitter, more normal mechs almost.
Yeah. They're all
Like,
boxy and stuff.
For the people who do like the battle tech.
these are all the big chunky boys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they gave so much for like different characters.
Yep.
Because sometimes people just want to have like regular old normal shit, in comparison to absolute crack nonsense,
And
there are some people who are going to want to have the
you do know the player types who would pick what over what. You know them. Each of us knows basically the first mech someone at our table would pick, I think.
Oh yeah.
And we are still at mechs, by the way. We are still scrolling. It was okay.
Yeah.
I think Now we have the DM section, which is well written stuff. It works and is good advice. It has lots of advice about like how to mission hook, what a campaign can be like, and so on.
I love that one of the mission hooks is literally too old for this shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That works for the end of your campaign, which is cool.
Very powerful.
Yes.
There's a lot here. Oh yeah, one of the small things I only learned here. If you do a skill check outside of combat, DM can like, the target number isn't 10. This is a 5 because it's kind of easy. Or this is a 12 because it's a bit harder and so on. Combat has its very set in stone rules, which is good. Because combat rules should be set in stone and should be like something the DM also has to follow. But outside of combat, it's very much freeform, and that's good.
Oh yeah, I genuinely enjoy the idea that this system doesn't favor like something like the GMV player mentality. It's a fair, even field, and you may get in over your head, but the systems being used are always going to be kind of on everyone's side.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not seen in all of my reading here an issue with like bounded accuracy. It always feels like you've kind of got enough to deal with.
Yep.
Unless, your GM's an asshole.
I mean, if your GM's an asshole, you're going to have problems anyway. The DM can always be an asshole at you, and it's never a good time. The book, what I wanted to like draw a bit more attention to, like all the stuff before is good, but it's not really, we don't have to talk about it that much. There's like different mission types which you can basically play out. This feels very tabletop-y in that we have the enemy player deployment zone, they have objectives we fight over, and you get points for how long you hold them. Like this, and then there's this one where you escort something, and then, we have to get here. Enemies are in the way, and so on and so forth. It explains like how you set up different encounters, basically.
Yeah. When I ran this, and how I suggest people run this, is just kind of like, if you're using something like Roll20 or Tabletop Simulator, just kind of grab whatever and just place it down. Again, when I ran this, I've run one in person. We just grabbed whatever we had around and set books down or whatnot. And it just works. I think having that visual aid is really important. I wouldn't run this completely theater of the mind, but also like tactical one-to-one tabletop is not exactly what you need to do here.
No. I would advise, this is one of the few things I would say, there's a lot of Battletech maps you can get, which is hex maps, which are landscapes. Those would work super well for this, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
and then but you don't need miniatures of anything, no way.
And there are some snap together things you can find online too,
Yep.
if you want to mix and match like terrain and buildings and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It gives you lots, like you can always roll these things, but also gives you like the ideas to, oh, this is barren with no atmosphere, no water, scarce valuable resource, and sees this barrage of terrible radiation. So this place is probably where you want to leave.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But maybe there's like a penal colony there for assholes. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to break someone out because he's an actual asshole, and then you just it's already an adventure. Congratulations, that's how the DM mind works.
Yeah, there you go.
Very quickly.
Yeah. And then you can give the place a feature. It's also, again, all examples, but with how many there are, it can last you a while. Anthropogenic features. There's new settlements. There's a second station, blah, blah, blah. Like, stuff is here.
Yep.
Here's ideas, go. It's always good if games have this, and these are enough. Like, we had, like, just the other week, we had this amazing book which has, like, 6 ideas for you. Which is not enough. This is like, this is the iteration of being like, okay, this is a shitty ass barren world with a remote colonial industrial scientific prospect that happens to be a proving ground.
Yeah.
For and also they did this because there's electrical storms, which is an additional difficulty for the proving grounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can now there's enough decision points where it's like interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, over that you can then start just like, oh, what if I wanted to make an enemy here on this proving grounds that's going to be some kind of like experimental test pilot with some kind of wild like Tesla suit that's using those electrical storms the players. That's something that you can do in this system.
Very easily,
It is fucking wild. Buck wild nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Also,
I'm always a big fan of making sure that, basically anything works out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In that kind of way.
One other thing to add when we were talking about D6 things, having just 4 different things where you roll D6, that's pretty terrible still for how many results you can give. They have 4 different tables that have a D20 roll for the worlds. So that's 160,000 different possible results.
Yep.
A lot of people don't even think about that when they're building this kind of thing, and it's kind of important to think about that.
Yeah. And even if like half of those results don't make a sense.
You can make them make sense, thankfully.
You can make them make sense, or you just re-roll, and it's still 8,000 things that do make sense. And I've just pulled the half out of my ass right now.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why it's stronger.
Yeah. So NPC rules. And one important thing: turn order. So unless specified otherwise, NPCs never take the very first turn in combat. Player always acts first, and then does the GM get to choose a hostile NPC to act. And then allies and NPCs can act in lieu of player turns. Player turns and hostile turns alternate until every character on one side has taken a turn, at which point all remaining characters can take their turns in any order. This is good. This is workable initiative. I like it. Rolling initiative is also fine, I think. But this is cool because we can be like, I know it's super important that Joe takes the shot first and then someone else runs in, not the other way around. But then oftentimes in a D&D game, you're like, okay, Joe, I rolled higher than Joe. I can't run in this turn. And as per rules, as written, that means that if I hold my action to run in, I can't attack this turn, blah, blah, blah. It's just like,
Yeah.
Just making it so that it alternates. It works. It's easy and it works.
Yep, works really well.
And also like that the players usually just get first choice, which just feels good for the players.
Straight up.
Yeah. Blah blah blah. Actions explained again. Again, DM section good. And what I really like about this, now we're getting to here's stats for a guy. He's an ace. This is his base stats. This is how his mech changes. And if he has higher tiers and stuff, and he has tactics and he has skills, and he fits on one page. And here's the next guy. He also has this. He also has this. He's the next guy. We're still at A, by the way. You're still at A, here's the next guy. You're still at A, here's the next guy. Like, there's so many guys.
It
Yeah.
just fits. And that's the best part. Everything can fit on one page
Yep.
for just about any character or anything, even with their combination of like abilities or mechs. Like it is crazy how
Yep.
simple this shit is.
Yeah, it fits, which is cool. It's also gives like minus mech skills because these people are like differently specialized. Like this guy's a really he ran half frame mechs and stuff. He runs small mechs. He's always gonna be easy to kill, but he's also a bitch to shit because he has agility +6 eventually. So fuck him.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be
Actually, it's
annoying.
evasion 20. Whew.
And yeah, evasion 20 is crazy. What the fuck? Actually, what the fuck? And then but anyway, the idea here being these all fit on one page, giving you many of them, and once you have internalized all of these guys and know how this works, and basically what these numbers are for a high level guy versus this high level guy, but it's kind of ends up being similar. You can make your own guys after this, if you like.
Oh yeah.
That are different.
Very easily with
But
this. Yeah.
it is even doubtful to me how much you will need to do that, because these are so many different NPC types that mixing and matching them for an encounter is going to be really effective and cool.
And each of them is interesting. That's
Yep.
another thing that really distinguishes this from other systems. Like, you don't really need to add much ever.
Yeah, this is one of the things I will say about, like, for example, D&D, where they're like, oh, this is, by the way, a commoner. Oh, thank you, book. I really need the stats for a commoner. Like,
Yeah, because this regular guy is going to show up.
I mean,
even when I've ever had like something like a big Seventh Samurai, which I mean, like you guys might deal with that with Fanlin. Like I never give individual fucking militia stats. No, here's a unit of militia. That's the only time they're going to fucking matter.
Yeah,
like
it's I mean, because this game obviously lives off of like fighting someone cool as much as it lives off of being someone cool.
All right, so Nero, do you want to show off how this works?
Yeah, we can change. Let me just
All right,
quickly
we should be able to do that now.
see what else was in here because I remember something else.
Send me a PNG of you.
Give me a second. Here's also.
We're gonna make you.
I get it. Here's. But we weren't done yet. Here's templates as well. You can have an assassin commander. You just apply the template to the guy we just looked at.
Yep.
And that is also this is again. These are so many iterations of guys you can fight. That is really cool. And then at the end, which is unusual, many games lead with this. We have the history because spoiler alert, it doesn't fucking matter all that much.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
And
it doesn't at all. You
think
can
about this
ignore all
like-
this or use it.
If you think about it like Gundam, there's always going to be the fucking off-worlders, there's always going to be the homeland, and there's always going to be explorers. Like, it's...
Yeah.
The archetypes that you deal with are going to be the same.
The idea that many games lead with their story as if it matters that much. This is mechs. Everyone has already got a story. Like, it's fine.
Big robot stompy,
profile,
you know?
I have a profile
That's
pic
easy.
in the thing. Or do you want it transparent? Do you care?
I don't care. It's not going to matter.
Okay, there you go.
It might matter. Who knows?
Here it is, transparent.
Okay, give me the transparent one. I really do love like the straitjacket look.
Yeah.
That's really strong in terms of like piloting with your fucking feet.
Pilot my mech with my mind and my feet. Yes.
Yes.
That's fucking cracked.
They have
That's
to put you in a
absolute
straitjacket
crack.
because if you move too far, like the mech overextends.
And then also, like, just to go over the book and how it ends, they tell you a bunch of, oh, this is like the setting now. Here's some info if you would like to read it. It is cool. It is workable stuff. You don't need to know any of this to play the game. Like, we decided
A lot of
we
it
are
is
gonna be
very-
mercs, so let's just play mercs in the future.
A lot of it's very hard science fiction. So if you like The Expanse, you'll like this.
This game, this makes me want to make a version of Star Sector in the setting and just play that.
Oh yeah, I could see
That
that.
would be so strong.
That would be really
'cause-
strong.
Because if they took this exact same system concept and then just did it with spaceships too, oh wow,
Oh
People
yeah.
would buy the hell
Oh,
out
that
of
would
that.
be really good. Yep. People love that shit.
Blah blah blah.
It is,
There's a bunch of stuff, but we are basically out to this book. So we're gonna switch over to the Emery's thing, which I'm no longer looking at. Oops.
I'm having to. Don't worry about it. I'm having to poke your stuff around because
Okay.
images load weird, and they like square images. So
Okay.
don't worry, I fixed it.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we are watching.
That's about as good as we're getting. All right,
I'm
let's
making
go.
this a little bit
Let's go.
bigger for stream. If I can.
All right.
Yeah.
Get that big Nura.
Oop.
There we go. Big Nura. Call sign. What do we got?
Shiny, obviously.
Ah, I see.
I'm not inventive in that regard. I'm keeping my
You're not,
name.
No.
Background.
What's your background?
Oh god. Let me go back up to see what it was.
Okay, predefined. We got a lot of those. I love fucking Super Soldier. I don't know why that's so good.
You play like the Kurt Russell character from Soldier in this game very easily.
Make me a in the future, right? It's hard.
Mhm.
I think make me a penal colonist because that's where I am right now.
Oh. Yeah. I really like that. All right. Zam. All right. So yeah, you get your 4 skill points to go to.
Mm-hmm.
You get a whole lot of stuff. What are you going with? What's your shtick?
I think so.
Each of these is going to get you your +2.
Stay cool.
Stay cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
Show off.
I also picked
It's,
show off. 'cause I love
it's
it.
directly over that one.
Yeah.
Go up, please.
Yeah.
Threaten
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go down. What else is there? Definitely not spot. Give me charm. It
Yeah.
works.
Rock and roll. All right, continue. Let's go. What are your talents?
Oh god. I want the one with the CQB. What was the one of the last ones? I have to go all the way back in the book to find that again.
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yes. Vanguard.
Indeed.
Then let me just look at book. Wait, this is already max. Damn it, where was it? I'll give you skirmisher because that synergizes with the other thing.
Indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
it does actually. Yeah.
And do I have? Oh, it's already. Oh, God, there's
Nuclear Cavalier. That's so cool.
So good.
I scrolled up a lot. I'm still at max stuff. Holy shit! So okay, here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I made myself charismatic, make me leader.
Yeah, that's fitting.
I
Like
also jumped in for that
like-
because I really like leader.
Lead by
I
example. going.
I absolutely love this. I love this setup.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're like playing in a group together, we would not necessarily take the same shit at the start.
Oh yeah, no shit.
But since we're just making me right now, like
Exactly.
this is session 0 stuff where like, okay, I'm gonna be the leader.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't also take it. Or do you want to be leader way more than me? I guess I just kind of picked it on a whim. Yeah, fine, okay, cool.
There's also skills down here that are based around leading, and I really like those leadership skills. Those
Um,
are really good. All right, what do you got?
So give me 1 in evasion, agility for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, it might be worth to take both evasion to start, but what happens if I take 1 systems? That's
One
just-
systems. You get some electronic defense and tech attack. It
Doesn't
makes you a better
work.
hacker.
Does not work.
And then you only
Not
get the
really.
key capacity in engineering.
Now give me double agility then. That seems to.
Zam.
Yeah.
For the
that's
start, that
strong.
seems like a good idea.
There you go. Look at you.
Heck yeah.
You.
Quick, easy.
Get registered. Zam. Big Zam. I love Big Zam.
And this is, by the way, the good way to do this. To do a
Yep.
to do an app. Because
And guess what? Look at this. This is all your armor. This is all you get.
yeah.
light suits, stealth suits.
Yeah, it's more than enough.
Like,
though. Give me the
done.
give me
Perfect.
the
Oh, yeah, the mobility, yeah.
mobility one. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
then you
perfect
get
sense.
Then you get all sorts of weapons. But look at this. These are not like, oh, we have 50 billion different. No, it's just, hey, archaic ranged or archaic melee. Yeah, they're old shit. And then you have light stuff and then signature
I take
weapons.
a light signature.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Like, just boom, done.
and give me a medium AC.
There you go, Zam. We literally picked the exact same shit except for the mobility. Excellent. And then you get all this stuff, which is
Yes.
tracked.
What do I
know
want?
You want the undersuit.
Of course, yeah. Yes.
The biogel undersuit. Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
It keeps you clean and everything. They knew. They want that from me.
They knew. So
They knew.
And then
you get all sorts of other equipment. And whatnot,
yeah.
All sorts of shit like this. It's pretty solid.
You can add all your shit
then you
in.
go to tactical profile is your sortie. This is what you do when you're like getting ready to get out into the field. So it's like, what more do I need? Do I need clamp bombs or anything like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is again like what you stuff you might requisition before mission and such.
So then adding a mech, easy. Go to the Everest. I don't know. What are you throwing? Go for it.
Clear skies.
Okay. Stalker,
Yep.
very nice. Get out of your stalker.
It has different things, but yeah.
So
we get the stats already determined.
Already
we can pick some guns and weapons in the system.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's
right.
it. That's just how it goes.
I need a melee weapon with this guy. I don't know which the most damaging melee weapon is, but I want that.
The
CQB
most
weapon.
damaging melee weapon would be heavy charge blade.
Yeah, heavy charge.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Absolutely massive, like huge.
Yeah, I want a big sword.
Charged sword.
And then give me like a gun in this. Put the shotgun in. That's also short. There's a short range.
Short range.
Oh yeah, you're big CQB.
And then the
flex
flex
weapons, which
is
indeed
missile rack. We have a missile rack as a treat.
Yeah, missile rack is solid.
Why is it at the? Oh, it's actually the third one. Yeah.
You can have a fucking missile rack, and then you get a second auxiliary weapon that can give you like a tactical knife or a pistol or things like that.
I noticed there's missile rack available.
Yes. You're really chunking up here, huh?
I have big sword and I have missile rack and I have a shotgun if both fail.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty solid. Look at that.
This is really good. That's really powerful. Look at that. And then you just go with your systems.
Yeah, I think I have 6 points. Yeah. I want the thing that only the Everest can have. I forgot his name.
They already have it. It's in the kit.
Oh, it's in there. Okay. It always goes in because it's built in.
These are all your other subsystems.
Give me the EVA module just because that seems cool. I want to be in space.
Yeah, so you get your zero G's. Let's go.
The
projected shield because of your big like upfront nonsense.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yep.
All right. The cool thing is we're gonna start seeing these like leave as we continue to go.
Okay, I don't want the flight system. I want the jump jets though.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yep, one more point.
And one more point.
One more point.
Okay, but this is cool because it doesn't. I want the.
Yeah, it starts to cut out.
I want the custom paint. Custom paint job. Custom paint job. I can only have one of them. I'll take the paint job. It is very.
There you go.
Get racing flames on it because you've been all
there you go.
evasion.
That's it. That's clear skies. Now here's the craziest thing. We're gonna go to pilot roster. We're gonna go to me. I chose a more kind of more base, but look at this. I actually only have one too many skill triggers. So, Zam.
Yeah, you picked your other mech, so I think you have extra ones because you're high level or something?
I boosted my level up to see how it went. But like from 0, same shit. My tactical profile is the same shit except for with Ace in Gunslinger.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I would probably use Vanguard instead of Gunslinger, as much as I like them. Or if I got like a third, or a fourth, I would probably go with that. But yeah, then again, oh god, the stuff is really good. I threw on Crown Prince. Now all this is because that basic one is so good. The charge blade, the pistol, a tactical knife, an assault rifle, and all of this shit. But guess what? The jump jets, the custom paint job, the personalizations, and the comp unit, because I like the little AI dudes.
Yeah.
This, it's so good.
We have a little bit in common, but we have mostly chosen different shit, and I didn't even know what you were choosing, so perfect. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you went with a hardcore Vanguard up front, and for me, I like the really in and out kind of like general jack of all trades vibe, which is always pretty much what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just works. It just works.
It just does work. And yeah, this is
just works.
I think the best app I've seen for this, because again,
oh, it's so good. It's so clear.
As good and as full of stuff it is in and on D&D Beyond, for example. The effect that you can't put in a custom item in is fucking garbage.
Oh, it's fucking annoying.
It
so
is
bad.
the worst. Like the idea that no one would be like, yeah, but this is a +1 flame tongue. It also gives you +1 attack. That's a DM's decision. Please respect it. Fuckers.
You can do that. But if you go, hey, I want to add in a weapon type, like a broadsword, which is a one-handed weapon that does a little bit different variation on the longsword. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Why would you be able to make new equipment? But like Matt Mercer has custom equipment, and every single adventure that comes out has custom equipment that's new. Why can't I make like a mundane item?
You unshared the thing.
So that my player can have it on the sheet. No, fuck you.
Oh, it's back. Okay.
But again, this is one of the best digital tools I've legitimately ever seen. And do you know what this digital tool comes with? A compendium of literally fucking everything in the game.
Nice. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I had
Really
this.
cool.
This is just a little thing, but I'm trying to remember what it was. Last time you gave me an item.
All of the skill triggers.
In D&D.
Yeah.
Which item was that? Oh yeah, you're right. Just the like basically headache of adding an item in D&D Beyond is already shit.
So Drake, you were talking about the quick play sheet, right?
Yeah.
Look at this.
This is so sick.
It's everything you can know. It's every single action you can take, and
I love that so much.
It's good and it's clean. It's straightforward, and you can see where everything is.
It's very visual. Like all the little icons make sense. You know, it's this. More games should be doing this. Like do this, everybody.
Hey, look at
everybody.
This. All the structural damage, how overheating works, and how they work on the dice.
Yeah, we didn't fully explain, but hey, it's not that difficult.
We don't have to.
Nope.
Yeah,
like,
it's not hard.
It's just that good. Like everything.
Yeah.
Everything you could need to know right there, and this is why I wanted to talk about this tool, because it's just that good.
It really is.
And you can import content packs and install content and stuff from like whatever stuff they're pulling out. Which look, all of this community content that's here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Awesome.
Encounter toolkits, making full encounters. Like, it's all here. It's all here.
Oh yeah, it's with a map and everything. Yeah, awesome. The fact that it's all in one is really good.
It's all in one.
Completely all in
like how
one.
the stuff is not just massive text blocks, but also clear. Yeah, they really did they condensed it very well. That's very true.
They went absolutely wild with this, and I'm so happy they did.
Apparently, I cut it.
Make NPCs for this, but like it's crazy. Like, I've never seen something this good.
I haven't either.
Of a digital tool.
Because, like, I remember back in 4th edition when they were trying to push their digital tools, they were terrible. So bad. And it's like, this is D&D. This can be really easy. and they
Yeah.
still refuse to do it.
Yeah.
And then they had to wait for somebody to make a better one so they could buy it.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
even
Which-
that one still sucks. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
still has
sucks.
its problems.
And again, I just enjoy this little boot sequence thing.
Yup. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is so charming. It's so charming. I've never seen something this cute in terms of what an RPG digital tool can be. I
Yep.
think all of them should be this lightweight,
Yep.
this easy to use,
Yep.
and just have this amount of information, because this is effectively, hey, guess what? Literally everything in the game manual is here.
Yeah.
Theoretically, this is free to play Lancer, but you don't have the context for any of the things, so you might want to actually, buy the book.
Yep.
But the book's also super cheap, and you can get it on itch.io sales all the time. There's no reason for you not to have this book.
Yep.
And that's basically my end of show statement. There's no reason for you not to try this out unless you just fucking hate sci-fi and mechs and everything. Like,
Yeah.
if that's just something that you cannot stand, okay.
If you don't like sci-fi, then goodbye, I guess. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I
It's not-
like, sorry, but that's just it.
Yeah, I would. Again, so my only hang-ups, and they're not really hang-ups, they're just like, okay, why? Is that the leveling after each mission seems like it would lead to short campaigns, kinda. But I can see just either continuing a game past level 12, because I don't see any reason to stop. Or I could see this like being like, yeah, well, you don't level after each mission. It's a longer game. Like, we're gonna level after each mission to start, but then as we go on, it's gonna be slower because I have things planned. It's just not gonna be a 12 mission arc. It's gonna be more than that. But this is like, these are not really problems. These are just things that you change about the game, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because there isn't any basic problem issue in the system that I would say is bad. Even the way they do like complication is good, because it's never gonna give you so many minuses that it's impossible to do something. Because at worst you roll 26-sided dice, and if they all show a 1, it's still a plus 1 minus to your thing, and that is really good, because it just means it works, it's quick, and you can just play, and it's not like oppressively bad like so many games we talk about. It does mean we sink our teeth into less of this, so we can't be absolute shitters about for 3 hours about how all of this sucks. But that's kind of a good thing, really. Sometimes that's a good thing.
I honestly just think that the straightforward nature of this and how solid the product is, and the fact that they realize their vision is perfect.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
They made the good game.
Yeah, they made a good game.
They really made a good game.
That's why it's so easy. It's not like any of these other systems we've talked about in ages past, where it's just like, hey, this is why what you've done is garbage and bad. Like, I like how simple the system is.
You know what would be one of the things I would do immediately?
What's that?
I would be like, oh, by the way, this mission you found, like the slightly better sniper rifle. It has plus 1 damage. However, you better not lose it, because you're not going to get another one.
Yeah, you have one of this specialty item.
That's
which
something
is really cool.
I would just put in, because that's just cool.
Oh yeah.
Like I really like the idea of getting something you're not technically licensed for, but your crew found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is exactly, again, that's that IBO connection of like having something where it's like, this is a weird prototype suit that is way outside of your licensure, but you've got it. You guys found it during a raid, and well, now who gets it? And I remember my group stuck it with like one of the hotshot ace pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, that guy's good enough.
Yeah.
And he almost fucking exploded like several times. Like,
A ray gun fell
like,
off the back of the truck. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, yep.
I will
Hey,
make
we
a
got one of
comparison
them
here.
new Barbosa frames. It fell off the back of the truck, if you know what I mean. Don't fucking worry about it. Don't ask where it came from.
I will make a comparison here because we did Blades in the Dark recently. These are two different systems that will both use downtime. Blades in the Dark, most of downtime seems to be like dealing with your own personal shit and, oh no, I know I'm going to get caught by the law. I'm trying to reduce my heat. This is you're preparing for the mission a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot of the focus is on that instead. And I'm just like, this makes for a much more positive system. Because what if I want to spend my time making more ammo for the job? It's right there. It's right there in front of
Yeah.
you. Whereas Blades
Yep.
in the Dark, that side of it, they kind of make indefinite. And there's just too much focus on dealing with your own personal shit.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more.
Like the rules as written will give most players a way to positively influence their success chance before the mission. Like
Yeah.
if my character, since I'm charming, I could build a rapport with someone we need to talk to later on who helps us out beforehand, for example. While if you're playing a techie, you're just going to make stuff extra ammo somewhere on your mech so that you can load it later for your big gun, whatever have you. And then someone else is going to have another idea for their skill set, because the way it works, it's so simple that there isn't like a point where people are like, oh, I don't know what I can do here. Because it's like, I have 4 things I can do better than anyone. One of these is going to help me with this fucking mission now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have an idea about that. And even if you don't, if you have just any idea, all those 4 things are as a +2. You can just do your idea anyway. It's just going to be a straight roll.
Yeah, it winds up being
But,
skills as enablers rather than like skills as a requirement.
Yeah.
So from experience, I can tell you, like, there is going to be a session of downtime in which your players are doing their roleplay stuff and being just their pilots, negotiating with people in the area, dealing with building new systems or advantages so that they can, get ahead. And then the actual mission is probably going to take like a session or 2. But like the combat part of it, it's not necessarily immediate combat. Like, this isn't, okay, so we made all of our things, okay, go do the mission, we do a fight, and then we're done.
Yeah. By the way,
No,
Trey,
it's like, hey,
this meme.
you have a 10-day extraction mission. You need to get in and out in 10 days. You need to find the target, deal with whatever you're going to do, and take on whatever is going to be coming after them once you acquire them. So that may deal with attacking a base or waiting for them to move the target within that 10-day window, and then attacking the convoy and grabbing the target, taking them with you and moving. Like, there can be so many multi-staged combat encounters that take place over a mission that are all interesting and unique and have reoccurring characters. Basically, each one's a little mini arc, and I think that is so good and so unique in terms of a system for encounters and mission structure that we just don't really see anywhere else. Because, hey, guess what? Military tabletops are really fucking boring.
They really are.
Yeah, they are. Because this thing gives you the correct amount of freedom, where it's like much like, just because I have to mention it every time we do this show in Shadowrun, where it's gonna where the Johnson is gonna be
I
like,
mentioned Modifius Conan, so you get your one.
where the Johnson is gonna be like, we want this scientist out of that facility. And then the player's like, do you care about anything that happens to the facility or anything else? And no. Get the guy out. We don't care. And then you give the players all the freedom in the world to tackle the problem, but the problem is static. And it's the same here, and that works really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So just as a quick kind of example, when I ran an extraction mission, which I guarantee most players fucking hate extraction and escort. Like, most people who come from the video game traditions really, really dislike those. And I've even met tabletop players who don't like them at all. Like, I have to deal with an NPC. Oh god. The Mecha Godzilla. But anyways, like, players overwhelmingly don't like this. However, the idea of, oh, we could just jam this guy in a cargo container and sling it onto our back and, like, check in with him occasionally. as we deal with these combat scenarios. It's like, yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, if you talk to
Like-
me, he might have something for you. But if you just
Yeah, maybe.
stuff him in a locker and strap the locker to your
Carry
back,
the locker, yeah. Like, there's so many ways that you can approach these things, and characterization and how characters respond to different stimuli and how they work with each other is really important. Like, any of these pilot talents can integrate very well with any of the other ones. Like, again, if I remade my character, I'd probably swap out Gunslinger with Vanguard, because Leader, Vanguard, and Ace makes the coolest, like, skirmishing in-out assault mech pilot.
Yep.
But then that can work really well with somebody who's like more of an engineer, or the guy who takes I think it's called like walking battery or something like that, walking armory, where it's like, no, I just have every gun.
Yeah.
I just have,
Mhm.
like what you were saying with missile pods. You take walking
Yeah.
armory, now it's, oh, I've got even more missile pods.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yes,
But like the
yes,
guy
yes.
who runs the sniper, or the guy who deals with drones and everything is their main interaction. Like, all of these characters are going to work off of each other and make their strengths even better. Like, I think that's cool. You don't even see that in D&D, the party system. Like, you don't get shit. Every character is their own character in a vacuum. But in this, like, there's so much that's based around, like, you know, the guy who's playing the ace leader, making sure that everybody's on task, and the dude with the drones getting the right details or providing fire support, the dude who's like a walking armory, tank setting down cover. Like, that's how you make an interactive party system.
Yeah, and again,
Because in this, you are playing a squad
yeah,
that
and,
supports each other.
and
Like, that's so sick.
this even gets put into the thing by the initiative system again, because it's like, yeah, we will need like the cover setup first, and then you can go in, and then you do your drone thing, whatever the fuck, and that's a good plan. Meanwhile, if it was D&D and drone guy just rolls first, his drones go in, get shot, and then the guy puts armor down for nothing. Yeah, good job. Not that I want to knock D&D, but I do think, I do love the idea of just going like, yeah, who goes first? One of you goes first. And then one of my guys goes, and then one of your guys goes, and then so on and so forth.
I'm gonna say I think it's the easiest one to rip on, just because it's so popular.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, D&D works, and like in a normal combat situation, it's not going to matter that much. Like, oh, 10 goblins jump you. Yeah, I don't care if I'm second in that encounter. I'm gonna get a goblin to stab, probably. That's fine. But in this, where it's supposed to be, okay, we are gonna assault this base. We have to snipe that guy because it's on the tower. So you snipe him first. And then as soon as combat starts, yeah, you go first, you snipe him. And hopefully you don't miss. But then if you miss, it's gonna be harder now. Good luck. But it was the plan still was the plan. And this, I mean, obviously the same thing can happen to you in D&D as well. Where like, yeah, okay, no, just didn't make the shot. I'm sorry. That's how it's a game. And also, like, even I would say in this game also, it is more for like, I wouldn't say forgivable, but it's more okay also to be like, oh, you are a CQB guy? Well, let's all be CQB guys with different sub-specializations. Because you have more than enough points in everything to just be a CQB squad who all also have another thing they do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you wanted to do that, that works.
Yeah. And then your DM can obviously be like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to send you on the desert planet where everyone has a sniper rifle. No, you're going to be the jungle planet where your shit is going to work. And then, because our higher-ups aren't idiots, or maybe the joke is that they are, and that we have to replace them. That's also possible. But then again, it isn't like, okay, I'm the fighter, and if I have two more fighters in my party, now it's basically like, what even is my point?
Yeah.
It's not like that. Unless you take exact same skills, in which case, what the fuck is happening here? But like, even if you have two leaders, it can help you. Like, I would say a lot of them you can double or triple on, and it's fine.
Mhm.
I think you maybe shouldn't take all the same stuff, but if all of you are snipers, then all of you can be snipers. Works.
Oh yeah, works really well in this game.
It's just it's so solid.
Yep.
It's such a solid vibe. Like, and that's what I have out of this, is that this game is a vibe, man. Like, just
Yeah.
I
Really
would
is.
love to play. I could play a side game of this basically every week. Like, if I had a main, like, D&D or whatever game we're playing, you know, right? We're playing Shadowrun. Having somebody be like, yeah, I'm also running Lancer. Hey guys, between arcs, let's run Lancer. Let's just do some mech pilot stuff.
I mean, after reading it, I'd be super down to play this. And then
I may do that. I think my new home game is probably going to be Fallout, so I might make the decision between Lancer and Overarms. Who knows? Then we'll run a couple of short games of Lancer.
Like I'm also for Overarms
You're so into Overarms.
But I like this more because this is Mecha thing I like. Mechs are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
And I've been ill-served by every other medium for mechs in recent years.
Yeah, I have too. Like, I even did work on Gear Creek back in the day, and even that, like, I was pretty dissatisfied with it in the end because it was based on D20 Modern. I was like, what?
Oh man.
Yeah, for me,
This is really good.
For me, it's like, oh yeah, would you like to play our pay-to-win game, or would you like to play our shitty game in terms of BattleTech? Oh, we have two shitty games now. One of them is slightly better than the other. But the pay-to-win game is still the one we would like you to play the most because it's pay-to-win. And and then the tabletop is just so ancient that it's not fun anymore. In retrospect, it was fun because everyone was happy about mechs, not because it was a good system. Playing like the war game takes a lot of time. Only for the rules to get in your way too much because making the mechs takes so long. And then your plan that you had for your squad is gonna be pulverized first turn if one thing goes wrong, and so on and so forth.
But right here, you're never gonna be in the space in which it's like, oh yeah, so you just get fucking owned, first mission, die, all of you die.
Yeah.
After you spent an hour making your character, because like we've just shown, making the character takes legitimately 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think this is a game where I wouldn't even be pissed if I died, because it's like, okay, bam, bam, bam.
Depends a lot. Like in this first mission, probably not.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna say right now, the amount of reference material nonsense in some of these abilities is cracked. Like, the first ability for Bonded being "I'm your Huckleberry" is so good.
Yes.
Good Tombstone reference. You get fucking the end bit of Gunslinger is "I kill with my heart" from fucking Dark Tower. Like, it's crazy. They knew what they were doing. I'm so surprised that like that there's not like a Predator reference in here or something.
Maybe we just didn't spot it.
Yeah, there likely is.
Not.
To make it take
especially with targeting stuff.
Turning into
God, I love the nuclear cavalier. I love launching fuel rods at people. It's so stupid.
Yes.
It's so good.
I like that Killian just made a character while we were talking. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. There you go, done.
Shows how easy it is.
There you go.
And just again the working towards the mech you like, and then just picking and choosing everything.
The shit that I talked about, like the Tesla mech, that's in here. Fucking Stormbringer, you shoot lightning at people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love that engineer mech that you just scrolled past. That's so cool to me. Like, there's so much you can do with that.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, this guy just carries
the mule. Yeah,
the mule carries your stuff and probably still does drones and everything, and it works.
Yeah, throws drones, throws mines, throws grenades. Does all that stuff.
Yep.
Is the guy that has that thing that you need for that particular moment.
God, the ammo case system is so cool. There's so many different things that are just so cool. Like, even now, like, thinking about a sick, like, gunslinger build of, I use I use a hand cannon from the Raleigh as my main, and I load it with all sorts of different custom weird bullets. Like, that's super cool. Why is this game so radical? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like we in the show we go about so many dated ass games which thought they were hot shit. And even for the time
This is
they
actually
weren't.
hot shit.
This is actually hot shit. This is actually well made, yeah.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Like, in terms of rules, this holds up. It's gonna hold up in forever, basically.
Yeah, I feel like you can constantly come back to this and just play it again. There are so few systems, like D&D is existed for so long, or it has existed for so long due to its versatility and its ability to just constantly replay. And like the idea that high level play makes you miss low level play, so it continues to like filter back into that cycle. But this is also one where I think it would be really cool to revisit every so often. That's why I said like running a side game would be super nice. Like, hey, every time we stop a D&D arc or we do an adventure, I'm gonna talk to you guys about downtime.
This is
whatever we're doing, and we're gonna play Lancer.
It's also one where I can see the Shadowrun. Haha, I mentioned it again. Thing work
you
of
got to do it again.
Okay, this week I'm gonna DM a mission. Because last time it was your turn. This time it's my turn.
Yeah,
let's make a character at the level of the others, and then hey, awesome.
Yep.
And it doesn't then it's maybe not a cool connected narrative of whatever many missions that saves the planet, but it's gonna be like you get to play, and it's gonna be cool. Yeah. You know the characters because you DM'd for them, and now it's your turn. Yeah, all of this works, and it's also a sign of a good game.
This also really works well with just having the characters being the connective tissue more than anything else, the different pilots of the group. There are a lot of games where it can be hard to do that, but this game, no, that's perfect. Just go for it. So we happen to be on this other planet this time. I don't know why. Our mercenary company went there. Cool. Let's go with it.
Yep.
I think it's great.
It is.
Like the idea of making like a gunslinger duelist is absolutely the sickest concept to me. Period. Like I love everything about it.
And if you want to play Diva from Overwatch, you can.
I mean, you can, but why would you?
Who would want to? No, Overwatch is dead.
No, it's dead.
Overwatch 2 is just going to be the only thing it's going to do is really it's going to allow for greater SFM outings.
That's really it, yeah.
You're meching your
5,000 Junker Queen
ponchos
videos
and hats. Do you think we don't? Do you think we don't? However, I don't wear hats.
Then you
That's just my hair.
If you don't wear hats, then you automatically have a matching hat. If anyone who doesn't.
That's true. Same hat.
But yeah, super solid game. I'm way into it. I would play this in a heartbeat. I'm also itching, like, kind of into the idea of DMing this at some point.
Yeah.
I would have to, like.
I'm also.
I will. If I do that, I would have to properly understand the rules first, blah blah blah. Which while I have read it once, I wouldn't pretend that I know how combat works in absolute detail. But just the idea of, honestly, as a DM, you don't have to read that much shit because you can just go down this book and look at the stat templates and be like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
And then, as the players, you have to actually have to read a surprising amount of shit because, well, what mech do I want later? This looks super weird. What the fuck is happening with its head? And then, oh, I want that actually. There's a cool fucking skill that I want for later, so I'm gonna skill into that for my first 2 levels, blah blah blah. And yeah, I do enjoy. And at no point, like, I can see someone asking me a detailed question about, okay, how does this combat mechanic work? But I think after one session, no one's going to be in the dark about how the game works as a whole. Like, what, like, there's not going to be, what dice do I roll again? What is my bonus? It's going to be like, oh, I have my charm, so I get a bonus to this, right? Yeah, you would. And then, I rolled a 20, and then I get +4 because I've raised it to 4, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy that it facilitates quick play as well, in my opinion. Like,
oh yeah, it really does.
Couldn't see how it wouldn't. Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to just run Big Zam, the biggest big motherfucker around, you can.
Yeah.
There are things that are so massive that they take up just like huge swaths of a combat arena, which, by the way, I do like how this is a combination narrative and tactical game. I love that so much. We've already talked a little bit about it, but the idea that we're going, okay, here we go. We are going to have tactical mecha combat, but then the rest of the game is entirely based around you preparing for those combats. And, you know, if somebody's not into that, that's fine. I've met a lot of people who say they don't like it, and I can never truly be like, yep, I believe you, because I always feel like you've just had a really shitty GM.
Yeah, I also feel like you have never played like a logical D&D game.
Mm-hmm.
Like where if you fight in the one room, the orcs the room over aren't gonna stay there and play cards. They're gonna hear you and come in and problem. And this is tactical is always there. If you think it isn't, then your DM indeed sucked.
Yeah.
And it's
wild.
Yeah. Like, okay, a lot of these distinctions, there's more than you think from the size alone. Like, this one is size 3, making him a lot bigger. And then he has the siege cannon, which is like, 3d6 damage over the horizon, basically.
That would be so sick. I love the idea of somebody playing like, I have the biggest thing. It's 3 times the size of everyone else, but that also means you get 3 times the attention. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that there is legitimately something for everyone, and everyone's play styles are so heightened, that this is the best version of whatever you're going to be. Do you like being the big guy? Guess what? You're the biggest guy.
Like, this is fucking anime. The fact that you can be a human size, basically, or car size, more like. Or you can be, size 3. We saw, there's a size 4 in here somewhere, I know it.
Yep.
Must have scrolled past it. Who cares? And you can be the biggest fucking mech, and then it's still good. But yeah, if you're a stompy 20-foot mech as opposed to a 6 or 10-foot mech, you're gonna get way more attention. You're gonna be way more obvious.
Oh yeah.
And then your squad will have to defend you as you do the cool thing, for which you're skilled. It just works. But yeah, I think that's what I want to say about this game. Play it, get it, it's great.
Play it.
Yep.
It's very good.
Enjoy all the memes, etc.
Yes.
Yes.
So, who is after me? Was it Emery or was it Drake who goes after me with choosing the game? Okay, it's you.
Yeah, I go after. But you know,
Oh, I did post a few more memes that you didn't show, by the way.
Did you do more memes? Let me rectify that immediately.
Guys, I totally fucking forgot to think of a game. I was too hyped by Lancer.
I don't blame you. This is a really, really solid game. Like, if somebody said tomorrow, hey, I can get 3 people, let's go, I'd be, go.
I'd play this instantly. Yep, 100%.
Oh, you made a few more, you say. Yeah, okay. I'm still scrolling.
But, I don't know. Whoa.
We'll look at these in detail once I click them all. And this gives Emery time to think of a game.
I do like that.
Patrick Stewart's finding out season 3 of Picard is set in the Lancing. Oh, I'd take that. I mean, I still wouldn't watch Picard because that series is cursed.
It's so cursed. So cursed.
Coral, I'm glad you had sleep. You can watch it later. This is a cool game.
Yep.
Play it. It's awesome.
Yep.
Horrors on a space station while in mech. Dead Space Lancer. Could actually...
Okay, so...
I can see this. When you make the
game before this Dark Souls? No, the thing before this was a break period.
Yeah, we did the DMing
and then we went back to our usual rotation of Narumi and Trey.
Yeah, but we did do Dark Souls last. But yeah, you're right. But wait, that's your game, isn't it?
Yeah, we accidentally skipped Drake because we had a cultural reset here.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah. The GM.
What was before Dark Souls?
Before Dark Souls. I have memory hold it.
Oh, was that Blaze in the Dark?
That
Yeah, it was.
Blades in the Dark.
Okay.
Yup.
Okay,
Fuck
Okay.
me.
but so we are basically changing the order here, I guess. But that's fine because I think in 2 weeks Drake might not have a channel, but in 4
Yeah.
weeks Drake will, so it's perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely
Okay,
in 4
that
weeks.
works.
I don't know about in 2,
Alright.
but definitely in 4.
Yeah,
Guys, do we want to do Conan?
sure,
Yeah, let's do it.
no problem.
Let's do Conan. Let's
Yeah!
go. I'm gonna have to acquire it.
Oh God, we can do that.
Yeah.
Will acquire.
Oh, Drake, holy shit.
Big meta immediately. That's me.
Is that a trumpet mech? Oh God, you face a man who is playing music. He pilots a dude in the street lands. I love this. Oh no. When you got that
Very
level
strong.
1 license in Amazon Industries. No. Oh, that thing will never be a thing.
No, it never will be.
What do you mean I can get a level
Sad.
3 license from Wild Wild West Industries? This is way cooler than Wild Wild West though.
It is. I think that's actually one that was used in the latest
Giant
Ghost
robot
in the Shell
spider.
series.
Yeah.
I love giant robot spider.
That's the one thing that it doesn't have yet. There's no giant robot spider in the. Wait, there is. The sniper guy has 6 legs.
Yeah, the sniper guy that has like the 2 little hands in front. Yeah.
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 Not quite not quite as cool as this, but the thing is, yeah, you can just say my mech looks like that, and then under the hood use one of the stat blocks. Who cares?
Man, I'm obsessed with the fucking goblin. With
The goblin looks
frame.
really cool,
I
yeah.
love him. He's weird. He's like such a weird little
Yeah.
scrungly dude. What the fuck? Who rides that?
Paying fish.
Broke ass.
Yeah. So next time we do Conan, that is gonna be in mid-September sometime.
Yep.
The 10th.
Well, it's also gonna be during my month too. Let's go.
Yeah.
Month of memory.
We
So-
would have
Month of
always hit that, I believe.
Yep.
And-
Maybe, who knows?
Damn it. Let me just check. Is June up? It's June's birthday? I don't see him. Maybe only getting up later, right? Nope,
Oh,
not
also,
currently
we
streaming.
talked
Okay.
about retrograde minis before, and
Mhm.
that's how I made the image for mine that we saw very briefly.
Mhm.
To get access to literally everything on their character creator and the ability to export to PNG instead of just taking cursed screenshots, their Patreon's $2 a month. $2.
Oh, yeah. That's also.
So if you're using a lot of that stuff, just fuck it, give them $2. They make an incredible little pixel art character creator that also works for fantasy. So just do it.
Wow.
I would honestly
Okay.
suggest people just fucking sub to retrograde, man.
Yeah. Honestly,
Retrograde's based.
if you play this, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's.
Oh, you can like their fantasy stuff is also really good.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if you play any
you
of
can
that
make
stuff,
little
yeah.
fucking kobolds. Or even their kobolds are perfect.
The whole idea being, yeah, like you always do that little brain math, right? Where it's like, okay, if I play this game for X hours, then it's worth buying because then it costs me like 30 cents per hour. How cheap can my entertainment be? Same thing here. Like
Yeah.
instead of buying like a supplement, you buy the Patreon membership and just get this, get all the shit from the past as well and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, do either of you have anything to announce before we find a right target?
I have new internet coming on Tuesday, and I will
Nice.
see from there when I will begin live streaming.
Nice.
It'll probably be
That's
the next
great.
week, but we'll see.
Yeah. Do some testing.
Yeah, lots of testing.
Very excited.
Very excited.
And Emery, you have Month of Emery. Please explain what that is to everyone.
Yes.
I have well it's less month of Emery and more just I'm doing a my re-debut on the 31st of August, so we're at the very end, and after that I will be doing a bunch of different event streams, probably about one event stream per week for all of September, which will also include all of my subathon goals. The subathon runs all the way through September, and I will be posting those goals when we go live.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Indeed, my live announcement will also be my subathon announcement. So yeah, I'm very nervous.
So that is on the 31st. That's Wednesday, right?
31st, indeed.
Yeah. Okay. That should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Looking forward.
Yeah. For me personally,
I'm very excited.
tomorrow I have nothing. I have some family stuff on the day again. This is Nura family week kinda. So
Nice.
I'm back on probably Tuesday with more things. Actually, I know it's Tuesday. I'm doing Warframe then.
No.
And yeah, that's it from us. We are gonna rate Bruce, who
All
is
right.
doing the Splatoon thing, as is many people today.
Big Splatoon.
But Bruce is obviously the right target to rate in any situation. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. I will see you all real soon. And
Next
yeah,
time.
love you and have a nice rest of your day.
Goodbye.
Oh shit! Hits table. We still have time. I will be on later today because Lazy June has his birthday. Birthday.
Yeah, nice.
I will
Birthday.
be hanging with Lazy June for a bit.
June 4th,
I
that's
think
awesome.
around 5 p.m. EST, maybe a little later, depending when they come back from family stuff. So expect me over there. I'm gonna announce on my Discord when that starts happening. But yeah, that good thing I remember to say that because I was gonna rate them, but they aren't live. So blah blah blah. Anyway,
Oh yeah, good stuff.
I will see you all. We will see you all soon. Bye bye.
We'll see you soon.
Oh.